Today's game being brought to you by 24/7 Well and Pump, Islandfeld, Saskatchewan, and Anderson, the NAW Credit Union, O'Connell Pharmacy, the O'Connell Falls Insurance, Stevenson National Bank and Trust, and Wiz Piggly Wiggly, also by America Inn, Brew Pub Pizza, Cellcom, Tri-City Glass, and Triangle Distributing.
Hello and welcome to Wausau, Wisconsin here at Athletic Park. My name is Nolan Knight, voice of the Bullfrogs, and you are listening to the WOCO Sports pregame show. The Bullfrogs have traveled out to Wausau to take on the Wisconsin Woodchucks for a two-game away series. Yes, of course, the Woodchucks, I'm sure you're familiar with the name by now. Bullfrogs just coming off a sweep of the Woodchucks where they would win both home games, 9-6 back on Monday night, and then coming away with a 7-5 victory last time out, which was actually on Tuesday. Of course, the Woodchucks in that game on Tuesday would have a 5-1 lead, but the Bullfrogs would storm back with 6 runs in the middle innings to come away with the victory. Riley Smith was the Aurora Baycare Sports Medicine Player of the Day for his 3-and-4 day. Managed a triple and a walk in the game as well, and that coming off a day where he was named the Northwoods League Player of the Night for his 4-and-5 day against the Woodchucks last Monday. It's Thursday night here, a 6:35 first pitch. It's damp, it's wet, it's cloudy, it's ugly, but the grounds crew here in Wausau have gotten the job done. Infield dirt looks great, and we should be on par for 6:35 this afternoon. Starting lineups for the Wisconsin Woodchucks, leading things off will be Stevie Mangrum, the left fielder, of course, coming off of a 3-run home run against the Bullfrogs on Tuesday. Logan Foster, the center fielder, batting second. Hunter Coleman, first baseman, batting third. Trey Dawson's the cleanup hitter and the shortstop tonight. Yeager Taylor, designated hitters, batting fifth. Chad Fleischman, third baseman, batting in the 6th hole. Adondis Lau, the right fielder, will be batting 7th. Aaron Susi, the catcher, is batting 8th. And Michael Ferry, second baseman, in the 9 hole. Starting pitcher tonight for the Wisconsin Woodchucks, Drew Hansen of Abilene Christian University. The junior right-handed pitcher stands at 6'1", 220 from Coppell, Texas, on the season, a 4.50 ERA and a 2-3 record. Lineups for your Green Bay Bullfrogs. Riley Smith of Minnesota leads things off, the shortstop. Mikey Flea will be the center fielder tonight of UC Irvine, batting second. Troy Johnson batting in the 3 hole, the right fielder out of Gonzaga. Dan Leckie, the cleanup hitter tonight, third baseman out of College of Lafayette. Ben Challey, the designated hitter, batting 5th tonight. Willie Bourbon, first baseman, finds himself batting 6th. Ben Hart's the 7-hole hitter tonight. He's the second baseman out of Oakland. Connor Beniski, the left fielder out of State College of Florida, will be batting 8th. And in the 9-hole, playing catcher will be Trent Bauer. Starting pitcher tonight for the Bullfrogs, Will Gilbert, freshman right-handed pitcher out of Baylor University, has had his struggles on this season with 7.61 ERA, but has had some solid appearances with a 2-4 record. He has struck out 30, walking 30 as 8-18 record, and supporting a 5-game winning streak, longest streak of the season. And they'll be facing off against the Wisconsin Woodchucks, who sit at 8-19. They find themselves on a 7-game losing streak. I'm going to look at that number just to be sure. But the lineup for the Bullfrogs, very similar as to last time out. And the Wisconsin Woodchucks, in fact, on a 7-game losing streak, their longest skid of the season. Let's take a look at the scoreboard around the league. The Kalamazoo Growlers, they have a 2-1 lead over the Madison Mallards in Madison. That game in the top of the 4th inning. The reason that game already underway as Madison and Kalamazoo with a doubleheader tonight. The Fond du Lac Dock Spiders in Rockford taking on the Rivets. The Kenosha Kingfish in Lakeshore taking on the Chinooks. Wilmer Stingers in Waterloo taking on the Bucks. Rochester Honkers in Bismarck taking on the Larks. We're going to step aside for the national anthem. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network 107.1 FM.
Attention pizza lovers, have you tried a brew pub pizza? Designed to be the best of the best pub pizzas ever made, every brew pub Lots of Matza pizza is made with your favorite premium meats and veggies and topped with over a half-pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Brew pub Lots of Matza pizzas are made right here in Wisconsin. Brew pub Lots of Matza pizzas are available at your local grocer and tavern. Check Brew Pub Pizzas out at facebook.com/brewpubpizza and get more details at brewpubpizza.com. Brew pub Lots of Matza pizzas, official frozen pizza of the Green Bay Bullfrogs.
At 24/7 well and pump service, we mean just that. Water will be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call 920-848-2407 or 920-604-2407, and a licensed professional will come out to your site, whether it is a water system installation, repair, well inspection, or install underground water lines. They'll be there. Call 920-848-2407. or 920-604-2407. We're in the Oconto Falls area Yellow Pages. 24/7 well and pump service. Fireside Road, Oconto Falls.
Do you feel like you're paying too much for your medication? Stop in at Oconto Pharmacy and see our pharmacist, Ron or Poom, about our cost minimization program. We can save you some money. The Oconto Pharmacy, our family helping your family.
Mainly cloudy skies in store tonight with a chance of showers and a few thunderstorms still possible as well. We'll drop back to a low of 56 degrees with winds out of the east at 5 to 10. Friday, chance of showers with a high temperature of 65 degrees and northwest winds at 10 to 20 miles an hour. Saturday, we'll see a chance of showers and storms with a high temperature of 75. Sunday, scattered showers with a high temperature of 74. Monday, look for a chance of showers with a high temperature of 74 degrees. That's your latest forecast. For WOCO Radio, I'm meteorologist Ray Miller.
Welcome back to Green Bay. Hello and welcome back to Wausau, Wisconsin, where the Bullfrogs have traveled out for a 2-game away series. Some South Division Northwoods League baseball on tap for you tonight. Starting pitcher out on the mound, Drew Hansen for the Wisconsin Woodchucks. Hansen on the season supporting a 4.50 ERA and a 2-3 record. This will be his 6th start on the season and 28 innings out there on the mound. He's dealt in 15 strikeouts and 15 walks. We'll see what he can do against the Green Bay Bullfrogs. Riley Smith will lead things off for the Frogs with a shortstop recently announced to the Major League Dream Showcase. First time we've said that over the airs here. Of course, Riley Smith coming off of a great season for the Minnesota Golden Gophers, and you think back to his freshman year as well, was named a Big Ten All-Freshman team. This past season tapered off a bit, batting below 200, but the summer he's had this year with the Bullfrogs, you can expect him to have a good junior season for the Golden Gophers. I mean, Riley Smith has been killing it for the Bullfrogs on a 8-game hit streak and coming off of 2 straight multi-hit days. And those aren't just 2 singles either. We're talking about a 4-for-5 day back on Monday and a 3-for-5 day with the triple on Tuesday. Bullfrogs coming off of a bye, one of just 2 scheduled bye days of the entire summer if you don't count the All-Star game. And so a much-needed rest for the Bullfrogs, but kind of comes at an inopportune time. Of course, the Bullfrogs are hot coming into the game, a 5-game winning streak, longest winning streak of the season. So Riley Smith, the right-handed batter out of Minnesota, takes a deep breath and digs in, and Drew Hansen toes the rubber, and we are just about underway here in Wausau. The kick of the leg in the first pitch. It swung on and popped up behind home plate. Aaron Susi over near the backstop looking up, but it falls into foul territory. 0-1. Riley Smith goes behind. It is a cloudy, wet day here in Wausau. Definitely not the prettiest day of the summer. Temperatures reaching barely into the 60s. It's chilly. Riley Smith digs in, and Drew Hansen comes set. Stares down Smith, rocks back in the 0-1. Swing and a miss, and Hansen gets ahead to start things off 0-2. Scattered crowd here as well in Wausau. As you can imagine, at Athletic Park with the type of weather in this area and wet day, chilly outside, not many fans coming out to the ballpark. The beer garden out in left field, however, just about packed to the brim. 0-2. That one runs wide, and a 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Mikey Falia stands on deck for the Bullfrogs, the center fielder, and Troy Johnston in the hole. Drew Hansen comes set, takes a breath. Smith digs in. 1 ball and 2 strikes to him, and it comes in. And that was a fastball and runs way wide and low, evens the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Minnesota product steps out of the box, gets the sign from his third base coach over there, Chris Sabo. Of course, 3-time All-Star and Rookie of the Year back in 1988. 2-2. Swung on, line drive into right field. Tracking over is Adondis Lau, and on the run raises the glove and records out number 1. Well hit ball by Riley Smith, just can't find the gap. Lau covering some ground out there as well. And the first out's recorded. That brings up Mikey Falia. Falia on the season for the Bullfrogs has been a bright spot. Batting .312, the best batting average on the team. Has 43 hits in 34 games played, 15 RBIs. And has been walked 17 times. He's been good. First one to him. Swing and a miss, 0-1. We had a UC Irvine, grew up in Irvine, California as well. The left-handed hitter takes a little practice swing, digs back in, Handsome stares him down in the 0-1. Fastball right over Broadway, moves the count to 0-2. Falia steps out, does his pre-at-bat ritual, which includes that practice swing, now stands in. Hansen, the right-handed pitcher, comes set. Shakes off one pitch, likes the next, kicks the leg, the 0-2. Swung on and fouled straight back. Drew Hansen out of Abilene Christian University. Junior right-handed pitcher out there. Looking for another good start for the Woodchucks. This will be his 6th start of the season. And the 0-2. That's an all-speed pitch that skips across home plate into the glove of Aaron Susi behind home plate. 1-2. Defensive lineup tonight for the Woodchucks. Stevie Mangrum out in left field. Logan Foster in center. Adondis Lau in right. The 1-2. Swung on. A fly ball foul right side. That lands past the new bullpen area, which is a beer garden right field area of the stadium here, more or less on the first base line more than right field, I'd say. Newly renovated out there. Kind of like the Lanny's deck, if you will. The 1-2. Swung on. That one fouled away right side as well. And Falia seeing the ball here, just can't put it into play. Count sits at 1-2 still. Here in the top of the first inning. Over from third base to first base, it's Chad Fleischman, Trey Dawson, Michael Ferry, and Hunter Coleman. The 1-2. Breaking ball swung on and fouled over there by the first base coach, Matt Ellenbest, who makes the barehanded grab. Ellenbest over at first base as Mike Ramazotti's season with the Frogs has come to a close. He goes back to San Diego, so the pitching coach finds himself over on the first base side now. And sure enough, in the first inning of action over there, makes a nice play. The 1-2. Fastball and then runs wide, and Falia has worked himself a 2-2 count. So Ramazzotti no longer with the team, of course, the savvy first base coach with Green Bay throughout this season. Is the director of baseball operations at San Diego. 2-2. Swung on and fouled away right side into the bullpen over there that I was just speaking of, and Falia stays alive. So Matt Ellenbest now stands on the third base side. Talk about new beginnings and new opportunities. 2-2. Breaking ball, that one finds the outside corner, strike 3. Falia goes down looking, and he knew it right away. Was walking towards his dugout before he was even rung up. Second out recorded. But speaking of those new opportunities, Matt Ellenbest recently accepting a job at a JUCO college, which is in the same conference as where he played his college ball. Will be an assistant coach and recruiting coordinator. He seems very excited for the opportunity. First one into Troy Johnston. Fastball and hits the outside corner. 0-1. So a fly out to right field and a backwards K, and Drew Henson trying to make it a 1-2-3 inning. The 0-1. Swung on. That one fouled away left side this time. 0-2. Troy Johnston, left-handed batter out of Gonzaga University, comes into the game for the Bullfrogs batting .283. 29 RBIs this season. That number leads the team. He's managed 3 home runs as well. The 0-2. Swung on. That's a fly ball foul left side. 0-2. Troy Johnston leads this Bullfrogs team not only in RBIs, but hits as well with 56. Johnson steps out, now digs back in, and Henson looking for that 1-2-3 inning. It's a strike away. Shakes off one pitch, and another. And a third. Now likes one. The 0-2. Swung on. That one fouled away left side as well. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Troy Johnston out of Paliwap, Washington, playing across the country. Don't think he could be much further than Wisconsin here. The Washington native digs in, and the 0-2 comes in. It's swung on, a little blooper out into left field. Tracking back Mangrum, and on the run, records out number 3. That does it for the top of the first. Drew Henson works a 1-2-3 inning. Stay tuned for the bottom of the first. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network. Stay tuned.
Did you hear? We've branched into your living room. This is Beth Larson from the Stevenson National Bank and Trust. Our e-branch at snbt.com lets you manage your money 24/7 from the comfort of your home. Apply for loans, check your balances, and even open accounts. Don't waste another minute. Visit snbt.com now to take advantage of all the convenience of our e-branch offers from the Stevenson National Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Triangle Distributing is a diversified distributor of high-quality beverages that is focused on providing customer satisfaction, service with well-trained personnel that drives the market through teamwork, goals, and strong relationships.
Hello and welcome back to Wausau here at Athletic Park. My name's Noah Knight, voice of the Bullfrogs. We are in the bottom of the first inning, and the Bullfrogs went down in order in the top half, 1-2-3. Starting pitcher tonight for the Bullfrogs is Will Gilbert, right-handed hurler out of Baylor University. On the season, Gilbert has had his struggles coming into the game with a 7.61 ERA, a 2-4 record, and in 39 innings pitched. He has dealt in 30 strikeouts. We'll see what he can do against the Woodchucks here tonight, as the Bullfrogs have played well against the Woodchucks here recently. Of course, coming off of a 2-game home sweep against the Woodchucks, one of the few sweeps that the Frogs have managed. On a 5-game winning streak, longest of the season. And the Wisconsin Woodchucks on a 7-game losing streak, their longest of the season. Stevie Mangrum digs in to lead things off. It's a fastball high, 1-0. Well, Gilbert out on the mound, kicks the leg, the 1-0. That's a fastball that runs right over the plate, 1-1, evens the count up. Stevie Mangrum, his last time out against the Bullfrogs, would send Anthony Eglin deep, a 3-run home run, 1-1. Fastball right over the plate, 1-2. Mangrum yesterday, or rather on Tuesday it would manage to go 1 for 2. Worked 3 walks as well. The 1-2. Fastball and runs wide and low, moves the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Will Gilbert, wasting no time, sends in the 2-2. Fastball high and wide, a full count. Stevie Mangrum out of Virginia Tech. Had a solid season this past season. for the Hokies. Payoff. Fastball runs high, and sure enough, there's another walk from Mangrum. Probably not the worst thing in the world there. Of course, Mangrum, 12 home runs on the season for the Woodchucks. An all-star, one of the lone returners, or one of the few returners, rather, on the team for the Woodchucks this season. Was the first base runner of the game as the Bullfrogs would go down in order in the top half of the frame. And here in the bottom of the first with no outs on the board, Ingram leads things off with a walk. He stands at first, and Logan Foster, the center fielder, digs in. Gilbert, wasting no time, nods his head and sends one in. It's a fastball and then runs low, 1-0. Logan Foster out of Texas A&M. Batting .297 this past season as a freshman. 1-0. Swung on, a fly ball deep to center. Tracking back is the center fielder, Falia, looking up, it's gone. Two-run shot for Logan Foster, and just like that, the Wisconsin Woodchucks take a 2-0 lead. Stevie Mangrum comes across, touches home plate. Logan Foster does the same. Some smiles and some high fives, and the Woodchucks, they're tired of losing. They take a 2-0 lead here in the first, and Hunter Coleman, the first baseman, digs in. Mikey Falia running all the way back to the wall, looking straight up in the air, and that thing is gone. A bit of a shoebox here at Athletic Park. The dimension's not very deep. First one into Hunter Coleman is a fastball that hits the outside corner, 0-1. Gilbert kicks the leg, the 0-1. Swung on, a fly ball into left center field. Running over is Falia, and he can grab that one out, number 1. And brings up the cleanup hitter, Trey Dawson. Shortstop out of the University of Chipola College, or rather, out of Chipola College, sophomore. From Hurricane, West Virginia, he digs in. This past season for Chipola would have been 279. First one to him. Fastball and runs in the dirt, 1-0. Not a great way to start things off for Gilbert. And of course, looking for some solid innings for the Bullfrogs. The 1-0. Fastball that just misses. 2 balls and no strikes now. Dawson digs back in the 2-0. Fastball high and inside, and Gilbert now down in the count, 3 balls and no strikes. There's 1 out on the board here and nobody on. Woodchucks lead 2-0. 3-0. Fastball right over there, 3-1. Gilbert stares him down, kicks the leg, the 3-1. Fastball right over the plate, and that fills the count. Will Gilbert out of Baylor University would sit out this past season due to transferring. Payoff. Swung on, a ground ball to second. Ben Hart can't make the play and rolls up his arm and into the outfield. And E4 will put a runner on first. Should have been an easy play for Ben Hart. Puts the glove down backhanded. Rolls up his glove, up his arm, and well into right field. And runner gets on base because of it. Not a great way to start the game for the Bullfrogs in any facet it seems. They go down in order in the top of the first, allow a home run in the bottom of this one, and then an error in the field. So hitting, pitching in, and fielding not looking up to par. To the winning streak, that is, at least. And Yeager Taylor digs in. First one to him, a fastball that runs wide and low, a ball and no strikes. Yeager Taylor, the designated hitter, digs in at UC Riverside. Just finished up his sophomore year where he would bat .274. Swings at the 1-0. It's a low bouncer to the second baseman, Ben Hart. He grabs it. A shuffle pass to the shortstop, Riley Smith, who comes over to cover the second base bag. They get the out there. Looked like it could have been a double play for the Frogs, but the toss from Ben Hart, not with much velocity on it. And so they get the force out at second, but no play to first. So Yeager Taylor hits into the fielder's choice, and Chad Fleischman, the third baseman, digs in. Fleischman out of Lamar University, just finished up his junior season. First one to him. Fastball high, 1-0. Fleischman with his second year with the Woodchucks last year would bat .248 with 28 RBIs and 4 home runs. Gilbert sends in the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Moves the count to a ball and a strike. Talking about the short dimensions here, 304 in left, 360 in center, and just 316 down the right field side. The fence here quite high, which makes up for the short dimensions. The 1-1. Swung on. Line drive to the third baseman. Dan Leckie gets underneath of his glove and gets into left field. And that's going to be a base hit for Chad Fleischman. Dan Leckie over there on the hot corner takes a hop step to his left, puts his glove down, and that one just underneath of it. Could have made the play. It would have been a good play, not a routine one per se, and that's why it's a single. But it could have got the Bullfrogs out of it. Instead, runners at first and second, 2 outs on the board, and Adonis Lau digs in. First one to Lau. Fastball that hits the outside corner, 0-1. Adonis Lau on the season, struggling a bit in 13 games, batting just .179. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Adonis Lau, 7 hits on this short season for him, with 2 RBIs. Runners at first and second, 2 outs on the board. Gilbert comes set in the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Gilbert gets out of the frame with a strikeout, leaving 2 stranded. That does it for the first inning. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107.1 FM. 2-0.
American Lodge and Suites Green Bay West is the ideal location for your next stay, whether you're traveling for business or pleasure. They are proud to provide the amenities you want most and deliver them at the highest level possible, starting with comfortable, quieter guest rooms. Welcome to genuine American hospitality.
Witt's O'Connell Falls Piggly Wiggly's 2-day truckload produce sale is Thursday and Friday, August 3rd and 4th. Red seedless grapes, 99 cents a pound. Cauliflower, 99 cents a pound. Fresh sweet corn, 6 for $2. Sweet cantaloupe, $1.99 each. Whole sweet watermelon, $2.99 each, and much, much more. Quality produce while supplies last at Witt's O'Connell Falls Piggly Wiggly's annual produce sale, August 3rd and August 4th.
Hello and welcome back to Athletic Park here in Wausau, Wisconsin. My name's Nolan Knight, voice of the Bullfrogs, about to get underway with the top of the second inning, where the Bullfrogs trail 2-0. Due up for the Bullfrogs here in the second frame will be Dan Leckie, Ben Challey, and Willie Bourbon, the 4, 5, 6 hitters, as the Bullfrogs would go down in order in the top of the first. Dan Leckie on the season for the Bullfrogs. He's been a bright spot, a nice addition to the team, as in 18 games he's batting up to .260 and has proved himself as a long ball threat as well. 3 home runs on the year, and if he can get a hold of one here, it could be another. As mentioned, this not necessarily the largest park. It's just 304 in left, and I mean, Dan Leckie, he's got the ability to go long, so don't be surprised if someone on the Bullfrogs roster manages one tonight. Of course, Logan Foster, he's a guy that, you know, he takes advantage of the small confines here and goes deep with a 2-run home run, and that's where we're at. 2-0 Woodchucks lead. So Dan Leckie, right-handed batter out of Lafayette College, digs in. This past season at Lafayette, with bat .291 with 18 RBIs. First one to him. It's swung on, a fly ball right side, out of play. 0-1. Dan Leckie managing a home run against this Wisconsin Woodchucks team back on Monday, and would be named the Aurora Bay Care Sports Medicine Player of the Game because of it. The 0-1. Fastball that finds the inside corner, and Lecky goes down the count 0-2 to start things off. Back on Tuesday, and Lecky would go just 1 for 5 and strike out in the game as well. The 0-2. Fastball that runs wide, and a 1-2 count now. Lecky just finished up his sophomore season, and the right-handed hitter out of Suffield, Connecticut, digs in and awaits the 1-2. Fastball runs high, evens the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Lecky steps out of the box, now digs back in, sporting the white batting gloves and white batting sleeve. The 2-2 swung on, ground ball to short. Trey Dawson has it on the backhand. The throw to first is high and gets way over the head of Hunter Coleman over towards the dugout area. A solid job just by the catcher and second baseman to run over to it and get to it in time. That'll be an E6. The Woodchucks have struggled this season when it comes to fielding, and it shows off there as well with a runner at first now. E6 puts a runner on base to lead things up, and Ben Challey, the designated hitter, digs in. Ben Challey rejoining the team, started the year out on the contract for the Bullfrogs, temporary contract that is, and then would go home back to Tennessee. Chris Savo calling him up, said, hey, would you like to come back? And sure enough, before he even talked with anyone from the front office, hopped in his car and was in Green Bay to sign his contract. He'll be with the team for the rest of the season. First pitch to him, runs wide for a ball. The 1-0 comes in. That's swung on and fouled back. Evens the count up 1-1. Ben Challey out of Franklin, Tennessee. Hopping in his car right away to come up here. Managed a solid game his last time up in his re-debut. 1-1. Breaking ball. Swung on and found away left side. Moves the count to a ball and 2 strikes. Challey on that short season, batting just .211. 8 hits to his name. 3 of those doubles, however. The righty waves the bat around. And Drew Hansen, who's still out on the mound, throws it back to first. Runner back safely. Hansen comes set. Righty stares him down. And the 1-2. Swung on, found away left side. Ben Challey staying alive. Ben Challey at UW-Milwaukee this past season would have a phenomenal year, batting .327 with 56 hits, 23 RBIs, and 4 stolen bases. Another throwback to first, Lecky back standing up. You know, Ben Challey's a guy, a traveling player, if you will. Would start out his career at the NAI school of Trevecca Nazarene, transfer into Elgin Community College, and then to UW-Milwaukee. He swings at the 1-2 pitch. That's a line drive into the corner. Base hit. Rounding seconds, Dan Lecky. They're going to send him in. Challey, he's going to round second and try to go for 3. The throw home in time. Ben Challey able to get over to third. A solid throw from Adondas Lauman right. A solid throw from Hunter Coleman, who launches one into home plate. And a solid tag from Aaron Susi, who tags out Dan Lecky at the plate. The Bullfrogs aggressive on the base pass. They were looking to try to snag a run there as they trail 2-0. But Ben Challey gets himself an extra base hit. He stands at third, and Willie Bourbon digs in with an outs on the board to try to score him. Hansen deals. Fastball wide, 1-0. The Bullfrogs in that first game against the Wisconsin Woodchucks would be thrown out at home, which seemed like close to 4 or 5 times. Continued time after time to try to get one in there, but just could not manage it. They'd be called out at home plate before finally getting a call and went their way. Adondis Lau throwing them out just about every time as well. Suburban digs back in after fouling that one away, and the 1-1 comes in. Fastball and then runs wide. 2 balls and a strike now. Jolly takes his lead from third. The 2-1. Another curveball and then runs wide, moves the count to 3 balls and a strike. Willie Bourbon out of Northwestern University this past season would struggle a bit, batting just 164 in 37 starts, and he's been cold recently for the Bullfrogs as well. 3-1. Swing and a miss, full count. Bourbon on the season batting 168 for the Bullfrogs. Has managed 26 hits and 20 RBIs, however. He's a guy that's had success with runners in scoring position. He can hit in the clutch. Hansen deals in the payoff. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Make it 2 outs in the inning. That'll bring up Ben Hart, the second baseman. Ben Hart out of Rochester Hills, Michigan, is on a tear for the Bullfrogs here recently. The guy in his last 10 games batting way over 350, managing a multi-hit game against the Woodchucks his last time out. First one to him, swung on and missed, 0-1, and Drew Hansen finds himself in the hole. Or rather, my apologies, Drew Hansen finds himself in the zone. The 0-1. Fastball and runs wide that time, evens the count, a ball and a strike. Ben Hart this past season for Oakland University would struggle. I mean, batting below 200, but something has clicked here in the Northwoods League. Expect him to have a solid senior season. 1-1. Fastball and runs way high and tight. Ben Hart has to dodge away out of that one. That one centimeters from hitting him in the cheekbone. 2-1. So Hart digs back in. Drew Hansen out there on the bump. Rocks back and sends in the 2-1. Swung on and found away right side. Evens the count up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Challey still standing over there at third. Bullfrogs trying not to leave a run 90 feet away. Hart digs in. Hansen comes set. Rocks back in the 2-2. Fastball and runs low and inside, and it's a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs on the board. Runner over at third and Ben Challey. Bullfrogs trail 2-0. A 2-run home run in the bottom of the first by Logan Foster puts the Woodchucks ahead. Challey takes his lead at third. Hansen deals in the payoff. Swung on, line drive, middle of the field. Base hit, RBI for Ben Hart, and the Bullfrogs down by 1 now, 2-1. Ben Hart's success continues. He's been something to watch here over the last few games, batting .371 in his last 10 and .421 in his last 5. Just in his last 5 games, 8 hits and 4 RBIs and throwing a home run. He's been great. And you think back to that Monday game, he would launch a line drive down the left field line, which I think could have been a coin flip whether or not it was foul or fair. Umpire said foul. He'll tell you it was fair. So Connor Beniski, the 8-hole hitter, stands in. He swings at the first one he sees, a fly ball into right field. Adondis Lau in front of the warning track raises the glove and grabs out number 3. Well hit ball by Beniski, just gets a bit underneath of it, flying it out there to right field, and out number 3 is recorded. Bullfrogs get a run across, an RBI single from Ben Hart, and they trail by 1. 2-1, Woodchucks lead. Stay tuned. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network 107.1 FM.
Want that new home? You can own it. NEW Credit Union has several mortgage options to choose from. Along with our 5- and 7-year balloon and 10-year fixed terms, NEW Credit Union now offers a 15-year fixed term. Find out how to get pre-approved for your home loan. Ask one of our knowledgeable mortgage specialists. Call 800-924-1250 today. That's 800-924-1250. Offices in Oconto Falls, Surrey, and Oconto. NEW Credit Union is an equal housing opportunity lender, serving all who live or work in Brown, Marinette, Shawano, and Oconto counties. Federally insured by the NCUA. All loans subject to approval. Visit www.newcu.org for more details. Choose your home. At NEW Credit Union, we can help you own it.
Hello and welcome back to Athletic Park here in Wausau, Wisconsin. My name is Nolan Knight, voice of the Bullfrogs. Bottom of the second inning, about to get underway, and Will Gilbert, right-handed pitcher out of Baylor University, still out on the bump. Will Gilbert would allow a home run in that first inning off the bat of Logan Foster, giving the Woodchucks a 2-0 lead, but the Frogs respond with a run in the top of the second. It'd be an RBI single from Ben Hart that scored Ben Challey, as the Bullfrogs nearly would tie the ball game, of course, as Ben Challey would try to leg out a triple, and the runner in Troy, or rather Dan Leckie, would be called out at the plate trying to score. So a 2-1 ball game here in the bottom of the second, and the leadoff man is Chad Fleischman, or rather, my apologies, and Aaron Susi, the catcher who digs in. First one to him goes by high for a ball, a 1-0. A 1-0. Runs high and wide and moves the count to 2 balls, no strikes. If you're not following us on Twitter, then why don't you get your phones out and do it? You can follow us at GB Bullfrogs. Same goes for Instagram, at GB Bullfrogs. 2-0. That one runs high. 3-0. Why would you do that? Well, you get the lineups on Instagram, and you can get the by-inning updates on Twitter. And the 3-0 pitch. Fastball that runs wide, and Gilbert not off to a great start here in the second frame. Walks Fleischman. Or, again, my apologies, Aaron Susi. Then it will bring up Michael Ferry, the second baseman. Michael Ferry on the season for the Wisconsin Woodchucks, coming into the contest, has not registered a base hit. Would make his debut on Monday for the Woodchucks against the Bullfrogs, going 0 for 4. Was walked one time in the game. First one to him. Fastball right over Broadway, 0-1. Michael Ferry, the 9-hole hitter, so standing on deck, the leadoff man, and all-star Stevie Mangrum. Gilbert comes set. Kicks the leg, the 0-1. Swung on, a blooper into left field. Connor Beniski tracking over, makes the play for out number 1. And Michael Ferry still looking for that first hit for the Woodchucks. He'll jog back to the dugout, and as mentioned, Stevie Mangrum will dig in. Stevie Mangrum, the Virginia Tech Hokie this past season, would support a .284 batting average in 74 at-bats, 3 home runs, and 11 RBIs, and he's done a bit better than that this season for the Woodchucks. First one to him. Fastball, and then runs high, 1-0. And as coming into the series, he was batting .317 with 11 home runs. With his home run back on Tuesday, make that 12 on the season now. Tied for second best in the league. The 1-0. Swung on. Ground ball left side to Leckie. He's got it. Throw to second in time. Throw to first. In there. 5, 4, 3. Double play. Ends the top, or rather the bottom of the second frame. Onto the top half we go. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107.1 FM.
Tri-City Glass and Doors, locally owned and family operated, and has been since 1960. Specializing in commercial glass projects and automotive glass repair. Having grown up right here in Northeast Wisconsin, Tri-City understands your needs and wants to be the residential glass and door professionals you can count on. They're here for your family in all of life stages, from building an addition on your home for your newborn to applying Aquapel to your new driver's car. Additionally, they are locally owned, so there's no hoops to jump through. You can call them or come in at any time to talk directly to one of their glass and door experts.
Witt's O'Connell Falls Piggly Wiggly's two-day truckload produce sale is Thursday and Friday, August 3rd and 4th. Red seedless grapes, 99 cents a pound. Cauliflower, 99 cents a pound. Fresh sweet corn, 6 for $2. Sweet cantaloupe, $1.99 each. Whole sweet watermelon, $2.99 each, and much, much more. Quality produce while supplies last at Witt's O'Connell Falls Piggly Wiggly's annual produce sale, August 3rd and August 4th.
Hello and welcome back to Athletic Park here, top of the third inning, about to get underway. The Bullfrogs have a deficit in front of them. They trail by 1, 2-1. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on YouTube and 107.1 FM, 1260 AM. Due out for the Bullfrogs here in the third frame will be Trent Bauer, the catcher. Bauer has the hot bat for the Bullfrogs, as coming into the game, Bauer really struggling. Bauer batting just 160 on the season, but he's 3 for 3 in his last few games or so. He's been solid. Drew Hansen still out on the mound for the Wisconsin Woodchucks. Right-handed pitcher out of Abilene Christian University. Junior right-handed pitcher. Trent Bauer, left-handed batter out of Ellsworth Community College, digs in.
Now batting for the Bullfrogs, number 38, Trent Bauer.
So Trent Bauer, left-handed hitter, stands in out of Ellsworth Community College in the first pitch of the inning. Shows a bunt, lays it down left side, foul. Tries to sneak one past the Woodchucks. Instead, he'll run back to his bat, pick it up, and dig back in. The Bullfrogs have tried that drag bunt to start off the game a few times, or rather an inning a few times this year, and they just can't seem to keep it fair. Of course, other teams have had a lot of success with it against the Bullfrogs. 0-1. Breaking ball that just misses the zone low, moves the count to a ball and a strike. This past season at Ellsworth Community College, Trent Bauer would have some success. He batted .272 with 3 home runs in 56 games. The 1-1. Fastball that clips the outside corner. Bauer kind of disagrees with it. Cocks his head and walks out of the box. Now stands back in. Count moves to a ball and 2 strikes. Hansen kicks the leg in the 1-2. Swung on, a chopping ground ball right side. It's to the first baseman, Hunter Coleman, who underhand tosses it to Drew Hansen, who comes over, covers the bag, steps on it for out number 1.
Now batting for the Bullfrogs, number 8, Riley Smith.
So a 3-1 out puts 1 on the board, and we're back up to the top of the lineup. Riley Smith, the shortstop out of Minnesota, digs in. Smith, his last time up with a well-hit ball to right field, but Adondes Lau, covering some ground, recorded the out. First 1-2 him. Fastball, and then runs wide, 0-1. Riley Smith out of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Sophomore this past season would bat just 143. Sophomore slump, if you will. 0-1. Check swing and ran wide. 1-1. Riley Smith in his last 10 has been hot. 349, and well, in his last five games played, a .524 batting average. 11 hits. A 1-1. Swung on and fouled back. 1-2. 3 RBIs, 3 runs scored. I mean, the guy has just been on fire. He's been something to watch. There's a reason he was named to that Major League Dream Showcase here come next week. You got to wish him the best as well, and especially with the way he's playing of recently. And you take into account how he played this past season for Minnesota. For him to have such a breakout campaign here late in the year is good for him. The 1-2. Fastball that just runs low and moves the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Aaron Susi, the catcher, hops up. He was ready to throw it to third for an around the horn ritual. Instead, he has to throw it back to Drew Hansen, who toes the rubber again. Shakes off one pitch, shakes off another. Likes the third, the 2-2. Fastball runs wide, that fills the count. The Golden Gopher takes a deep breath and digs back in. And Drew Hansen comes set, rocks back in the payoff. Swing and a miss, a rare strikeout from Riley Smith, and frustrated with himself, swings his bat in frustration and walks back to the dugout. 2 outs on the board. That'll bring up the 2-hole hitter, Mikey Falia. Mikey Falia, the center fielder out of UC Irvine. Coming off a solid season with Irvine. Just 11 at-bats, but would bat around 273 in those 11, making the most of his opportunities. First one to him. Fastball right over the plate, 0-1. Falia, with the type of season he's had for the Bullfrogs, though, you got to expect that when he goes back to school, head coach for Irvine might put him in the lineup a few more times. 0-1. Fastball, and that clips the outside corner. 0-2, he falls behind. Mikey Falia steps out, does his pre-bat ritual, stands back in. Drew Hansen comes set, rocks back the 0-2. Breaking ball, that one just barely missing the zone, and Aaron Susi might be trying to be sending a message to the home plate umpire. Started throwing around the horn that time. He picked out the ball and was headed for the dugout. Now he sits behind home plate, and Drew Hansen sends in the 1-2. Breaking ball, that one just missing the zone, and Aaron Susi really trying to get under the skin of the umpire here, does the same thing. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs on the board, nobody on. Hansen comes set, rocks back, and the 2-2 comes in. Fastball swung on, fouled away right side. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Falia, right-handed batter out of Irvine, takes a deep breath, stares down his back. Little practice swing. Now awaits. Hansen rocks back, and the 2-2. Fastball, and then runs low that time, and a full count. He has, of course, a solid season with the Woodchucks this season. A 4.50 ERA, 2-3 record, and the payoff comes in. That one swung on and fouled back as well. Count remains 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Drew Hansen comes set. Falia digs in the payoff. Swung on, ground ball to third. Chad Fleischman has it, throw to first in the dirt. Nice pick from Hunter Coleman to record out number 3, and the Bullfrogs go down. That does it for the top of the 3rd inning. Stay tuned for the bottom half. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107.1 FM.
Honey, get the camera. Riley's rolling again.
That dog always gets excited up here at the cabin.
Riley loves the woods, don't you, Riley? Roll, Riley, roll. You getting this?
I'm getting it all. It's fabulous. But we can't upload it until we get home.
Right, no data connection up here.
Challenge.
Coach McCarthy?
Mason Crosby.
Switch to Cellcom, guys. Our coverage is great, whether you're out here or anywhere coast to coast.
Yeah, Riley's fans don't want to wait.
Now Riley's really on a roll.
At Cellcom, we've got you covered out in the country and all across the country. Cellcom, built for you.
Very athletic. I think we can use him on special teams.
But not the kick, right?
We'll see.
It's Cellcom's Customer Appreciation Celebrations. Get smartphones from the top 2 brands for just a penny each, along with food prizes and sales on accessories. Cellcom, built for you. Available day of event only. New 2-year activation qualified upgrade required. Restrictions apply. Visit cellcom.com/celebrate for details.
Welcome back to Athletic Park here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Will Gilbert still out on the mound for the Bullfrogs. Would manage to get the Frogs out of the bottom of the 2nd quickly, would force a double play. Logan Foster was due up for the Wisconsin Woodchucks here in the 3rd. He's the guy that managed the 2-run shot in the 1st frame, giving the Woodchucks the 2-0 lead. Bullfrogs respond in the top of the 2nd with a run of their own, and that's where we are now. 2-1 Woodchucks lead, bottom of the 3rd inning. Both teams with 2 hits tonight, and both teams with an error as well. Hunter Coleman will be on deck, and Trey Dawson in the hole. Logan Foster on the season for the Wisconsin Woodchucks coming into the game batting well. .298 on the season in 26 games. Has registered 3 home runs, that being his 4th of the year, and 15 RBIs, 17 now on the year. Will Gilbert out there on the mound for the Bullfrogs, gets a big fist bump from the 3rd baseman Dan Leckie and stands back on the rubber. Logan Foster digs in. Will Gilbert out there on the bump, right-handed hurler. Fixes his cap, now comes set, toes the rubber. Logan Foster digs in, waves his bat around in the first pitch of the inning. A fastball that finds the outside corner, 0-1. Logan Foster out of Texas A&M swings at the 0-1, fouls that one off the end of the bat, right side, 0-2. From Lincoln, Nebraska, just finished up his freshman campaign where he would bat .297, not too shabby. The 0-2. Breaking ball and runs wide, moves the count to a ball and 2 strikes now. Back in high school, was a 2-time All-Nebraska first-team member. Could mention he's just been solid throughout his career. 1-2. Fastball that finds the outside corner, a backwards K, and Logan Foster can't believe it. Gives a look back at the umpire, almost as if to say, come on. And it's 1 out on the board, and a due up for the Woodchucks is Hunter Coleman, the first baseman. Hunter Coleman, his last time up, would line out to left field. First baseman digs in. First 1-2 him. Fastball and runs wide, a ball and no strikes. Hunter Coleman on the season batting .309, has 34 hits and 22 RBIs. The 1-0. That one swung on and fouled straight back. Moves the count to a ball and a strike. Will Gilbert comes set, shakes one off, likes the next, rocks back in the 1-1. Swung on, found away right side, 1-2, he falls behind. Hunter Coleman, first baseman today, played some catcher against the Bullfrogs in the last series. Hunter Coleman, a Texas A&M product himself. He finished up his freshman campaign this past season also. The 1-2 pitch, check, swing, did he go around? Yes, he did. Strike 3, make it 2 in a row now for Will Gilbert.
Now batting for the Woodchucks from the University of Kentucky.
So that will bring up Trey Dawson, the shortstop. Dawson, out of high school, a 32-round pick for the Detroit Lions. He digs in. Sophomore. Grew up in Hurricane, West Virginia. First 1-2 him. Fastball and runs high, 1-0. On the season, coming into the series against the Bullfrogs, batting just .269 with 20 RBIs and 2 homers. He digs in the 1-0. That one skips across home plate into the glove of Trent Bauer and moves the count to 2 balls and no strikes. Gilbert out there on the mound, readjusts his pants, readjusts his hat, rocks back, and sends in the 2-0. Swing and a miss, 2-1. Trey Austin transferred into Chipola College out of LSU, and he will be playing for Kentucky come next season. 2-0, and that one runs wide, moves the count to 3 balls and a strike. Gilbert out there on the bump. Must be uncomfortable with that hat. I think he's adjusted it with between every single pitch. Comes sets now and sends in the 3-1. Swing and a miss. Foul tips it off the end of the bat. Bauer can't put the mid on it. Dribbles back to the backstop and moves the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nobody on. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Bullfrogs trail 2-1. The Plano, Texas native takes a deep breath, kicks the leg in the payoff. Swung on, a blooper into left center field. Running over is Beneski, covering some ground and making the grab. A 1-2-3 inning for Will Gilbert, and on to the 4th we go. Solid play from the left fielder, Connor Beneski, to cover some ground out there in left, and the Bullfrogs get out of it. Stay tuned for the 4th. They trail 2-1. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107.1 FM.
Combine the flavors of Italy with the heart of the Irish, add some Chicago flair, and you've got Gallagher's Pizza. For the best Chicago-style pizza north of the Illinois border, Gallagher's Pizza is your destination. Call now for delivery or pickup in Green Bay and De Pere. Gallagher's Pizza, home of the best lunch buffet in town. Visiting teams and combinations are brought to you by American Inn Lodge and Suites, Green Bay West. For toll-free reservations, contact 800-634-3444. American Inn Lodge and Suites, Green Bay West. Welcome to genuine American Inn hospitality.
If you don't know everything about insurance, you'll profit from the knowledge and experience at the Oconto Falls Insurance Center, 113 North Main Street, downtown Oconto Falls. You'll benefit from their thorough analysis of the insurance that you really need. They'll recommend the companies and policies that are the best for you. At the Oconto Falls Insurance Center, they specialize in complete coverage of all your insurance needs. Call the Oconto Falls Insurance Center, 113 North Main Street, downtown Oconto Falls.
Hello and welcome back to Athletic Park, Wausau, Wisconsin. Bullfrogs trail the Wisconsin Woodchucks 2-1, top of the 4th, about to get underway. In the 3rd frame, the Bullfrogs would go down in order, and they would put the Woodchucks down in order themselves. A 1-2-3 inning for Will Gilbert, who dealt in 2 strikeouts along the way. Due up for the Bullfrogs here in the 4th frame will be Troy Johnston, the right fielder. Johnson, his last time up, would fly out into left back in the 1st. First 1-2 him. It's a fastball and hits the outside lower portion, 0-1. Troy Johnston, the right fielder, having a solid season for the Bullfrogs, a guy that has been here from essentially the start of the year. The 0-1. Fastball just misses the zone low, moves the count to a ball and a strike. Johnston here in his last 5 games, batting .348. On the season, batting around .270. Drew Hansen still out on the mound. He rocks back and sends in the 1-1. It's swung on. A fly ball left side, foul, out of play into the stands. And the count moves to a ball and 2 strikes. Troy Johnston, the Gonzaga product, digs back in. This past season for the Bulldogs would bat .323, probably 10 starts away from being named a freshman All-American. Would have a breakout season. The 1-2. Swung on. That one found away left side as well. This time staying in the bleachers. And some kids will run over and scoop that one up for a baseball. Johnston stays alive. would be named to the West Coast Conference All-Conference team for that .323 batting average. And the left-handed batter digs back in. Drew Hansen, the righty out there on the mound, sends in the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
That's another woodchuck strikeout that goes towards Katie's.
That's the first strikeout here in the top of the 4th inning, and it's the 3rd of the day, or make that 4th of the day for Drew Hansen.
Now batting for the Bullfrogs, number 40, Dan.
Hansen has been impressive this season against the Bullfrogs. Back his last start against the Bullfrogs would be his first start of the season, and he made the most of it. First one into the new batter, Dan Leckie, a fastball that runs inside, a swing and a miss, 0-1. Leckie trying to send that one over the left field wall, a huge swing. Hansen with a 4.50 ERA coming into the game. Back on that start on June 30th would go 6 strong. Allowed just 1 earned run, 4 hits, walking 4 and striking out 4 along the way. Has had some solid starts since as well. A win against Kenosha and went 7 strong against Fond du Lac. And a 1-2 loss back on July 27th. An 0-1 count here, 1 out on the board. Hansen deals. Breaking ball that hits the outside corner. I don't know about that one. 0-2. The 0-2. Swung on, a line drive into left field. Mangrum running forward, can't make the play. It's underneath of his glove. Leckie takes a long turnaround first, thinking about 2 bags, but he'll stay over at first and set. Instead, the 3rd hit of the game for the Bullfrogs, as Mangrum, covering a lot of ground out there, elects to try to pick it up off of the bounce rather than, say, diving out for it. And it gets past his glove as well. An awkward spot out there. I mean, it's almost impressive for Mangrum just to get over to it, but he can't make the play. Gets past him. The 3rd hit of the game for the Bullfrogs, and Leckie on for the 2nd time tonight. First pitch into the new batter. Ben Challey goes by for a strike, 0-1. He falls behind. Challey with the double his last time up, tried to make it a triple, but of course Dan Leckie would be called out at the plate. Throw back to first, Leckie back standing up. A well-hit ball by Ben Challey got into the corner, and a speedier ball player might have come across to score. 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. A big swing from Ben Challey, an awkward miss, in fact. A ball that is high and tight. 0-2 count now. Hansen out on the mound, shakes off a couple. Gives a glance to Leckie at first, and deals in the 0-2. Swung on. Another blooper into right field. That one bouncing foul, however. That one nearly in the corner as well. Could have been a similar play to that 2nd inning. Instead, the count remains no balls and 2 strikes with an out on the board and Dan Leckie at first. Ben Challey out of UW Milwaukee, where he would have a great season this past year. Challey this past season at UW Milwaukee would bat .327, 56 hits to his name, 23 RBIs. The 0-2 runs low, and the count moves to a ball and 2 strikes. Challey easily could have got picked to stick around with the Bullfrogs this season, but back when the temporary contracts were all fixed up, there really wasn't that many opening spots on the team, but the injury bug in full effect against Green Bay, and now they sit with a roster that sits at just 27 players. They could use some more. Challey watches one go by high, so a ball and 2 strikes now. Drew Hansen comes set out on the mound. Leckie takes a lead from first. Hansen now comes set and throws to first. Leckie back standing up, only has a 2-step lead. And Hansen gets the ball back into his glove and toes the rubber again. The Franklin, Tennessee native digs in, and the 1-2 from Hansen is dealt. The 1-2, that one fouled back into the backstop. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes. Standing on deck for the Bullfrogs will be Willie Bourbon. He struck out his last time up. one of the 4 victims tonight of Drew Hansen. Hansen takes his glove off and rubs down the ball. Of course, it's a wet one here in Wausau. No rain anymore, but soaking earlier. The 1-2. Breaking ball that runs way wide in the dirt, evens the count. On the bus ride out here to Wausau, rain the entire way, and some heavy rain as well, not a sprinkle. The grounds crew here in Wausau, though, has done a phenomenal job keeping the field up to par. The only swampy part coming over by the tarp. 2-2. Swung on and fouled straight back. Challey fighting to stay alive here. Of course, the tarp sitting on the right side just over near the bullpen. When you walk over there, you can see some puddles over there, but besides for that one spot, and the rest of the field looks great. Of course, the warning track and backstop a little muddy, but you can play through that. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Another big swing from Ben Challey and another big miss, make it 5 strikeouts now for Drew Hansen. A season high in a game. He would manage that 5 strikeout day his last time out in that 7 strong frames he put against Fond du Lac. So Willie Bourbon digs in with a runner at first and 2 outs on the board. He's been a guy that has had a lot of success in the clutch, but struggles at other times. Batting 169 on the year. First one to him from Drew Hansen. It's a fastball that runs high, 1-0. Willie Bourbon in his last 10 games for the Bullfrogs, batting just 128 on a cold streak. Managed a 2 RBI double back come against Kenosha in a time where it gave the Bullfrogs some runs late that were much needed. So 1 ball and a 1 strike, 2 outs on the board, and Dan Leckie stands over at first. 3 hits tonight for the Bullfrogs, 2 for the Woodchucks. Hansen comes set. Bourbon, the left-handed batter, supporting the white batting gloves, waves his bat around, and the 1-1 is dealt. Fastball right over Broadway. Don't know why Bourbon didn't like that one. 1-2. Bourbon steps out, kind of shakes his head. I think he wished he would have took a hack at it. Digs back in. His pants down to his cleats today. Normally rocks the old school pulled up look. The 1-2, runner off from first. It's high. The throw from the catcher not in time, as Aaron Susi has some trouble making the transfer. Kind of has to recock after he slipped with the ball, and to his pitcher and shortstop kind of taps his chest saying, "My bad." So Dan Leckie takes off from first. Don't know how many times we've seen that this season. Coming into the game, Dan Leckie with just 1 stolen base, so make that number 2 on the season. Two. Swung on, found away left side, and Bourbon stays alive. Chris Savo giving the signs to Dan Leckie and his batter, Willie Bourbon. Bourbon takes a deep breath and digs back in. Wrist tape on his left arm, white and black batting gloves. Changing out those Northwesterns ones he had earlier. The breaking ball comes in. That one swung on and found away left side, fighting to stay alive. Standing on deck for the Bullfrogs would be Ben Hart. Of course, he's got the RBI single tonight. Lone run of the game for the Bullfrogs. 2-1 Woodchucks lead, top of the 4th inning. Drew Hansen, right-handed pitcher, stares down Bourbon. He waves his bat in anticipation. 2-2, runner off. Throw down from the catcher. In time, got him by a mile, out number 3. The pitch came across wide, and Dan Leckie slides into the throwdown from Aaron Susi, so it'll be Willie Bourbon who gets a fresh at-bat in the 5th, but that's it for the 4th. Stay tuned for the bottom half of it. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107.1 FM.
Over the past 60 years, Triangle Distributing has maintained itself as a leader in the market as it has responded to the changes in product innovation and consumer demands. It is in this commitment to employees, customers, community, and supplier partners that has enabled them to remain one of the best and most respected distributors in our state.
At 24/7 well and pump service, we mean just that. Water will be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call 920-848-2407 or 920-604-2407, and a licensed professional will come out to your site. Whether it is a water system installation, repair, well inspection, or install underground water lines, they'll be there. Call 920-848-2407 or 920-604-2407. We're in the Oconto Falls area Yellow Pages. 24/7 well and pump service. Fireside Road, Oconto Falls.
Hello and welcome back to Athletic Park here in Wausau, Wisconsin. My name is Nolan Knight, voice of the Bullfrogs. Bottom of the fourth frame about to get underway. Will Gilbert still out on the mound for the Bullfrogs. Gilbert, you take away that 2-run shot from Logan Foster, and he's had a pretty solid game. Gilbert's worked a 1-2-3 inning this past frame, dealing in 2 strikeouts along the way. He has 3 on the night. Due up for the Wisconsin Woodchucks here in the fourth frame will be Yeager Taylor, Chad Fleischman, and Adondes Lau. Yeager Taylor, his last time up, would hit into the fielder's choice, getting on first before being stranded in that first inning. Taylor, the left-handed hitter, stands in, and Will Gilbert out on the mound, comes set, kicks the leg in the first pitch of the inning. It swung on and found a way left side past the press box, 0-1. Taylor out of UC Riverside. Just finished up his sophomore season where he would bat .274. The California native stands in, and Gilbert deals 0-1. That one swung on and fouled straight back this time, 0-2. Taylor this past summer would have a solid season in the West Coast League as the left-handed batter. Digs back in after walking out of the batter's box, taking his time standing back in. The 0-2. That's a fastball and runs way high, 1-2. Gilbert comes set. Taylor awaits, and the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Gets away from the catcher Bauer on the warning track, grabs it, throw to first. Was it in time? Yes, it was. The base runner and Yeager Taylor runs into his glove, popping it out after Willie Bourbon had his foot on the bag, so out number 1 recorded. The peanut gallery here won't like it as not the best look at it there, but the throw to first in time. Are they calling him safe now? No, he was out. Throw to first was in time, foot was on the bag, he grabbed it, out recorded. Base runner runs into the glove to knock it out after the out was already recorded, and now the head coach of the Wisconsin Woodchucks will come over to have a complaint with it. That's Andrew Fabrin, the head coach. Last year was actually the pitching coach for the Wisconsin Woodchucks team. Spent some times at Hillsborough College, where he's the pitching coach, before he was at LIU Brooklyn. Won a championship with Lynn University back during his playing career, where he actually went on to coach. An associate Florida Marlin scout. You can say that he has a solid time, of course, spotty talent. So the conference now with the umpires after Fabrin has some words with the first base one. They're discussing whether or not it's an out or not because of how I described it. Out was made at first base. Runner runs into the glove, knocking it out of his hand. And so that's what the Woodchucks are complaining about. The catch was made, the out was there. Now they're going to call him safe. Chris Sabo irate. He comes out. He wants a word with him. He can't believe it. Are you kidding me? He says. Puts his finger to him, motions, you come here. He wants to have a word with him now. He cannot believe it. Sabo, you want to talk about guys that have seen a lot of baseball. I'd say you probably want to listen to this guy. 3-time All-Star, National League Rookie of the Year in 1988. Probably the most respected coach in the league, if you just go by resume. And he can't believe it. He's not a guy that's going to sit there and argue with you because you know that nothing can probably be done now, but he's going to let you know that that was wrong. And so out off the board and a runner at first now. It'll be a dropped strike 3 base for Taylor. That will bring up Chad Fleischman, the third baseman. First pitch to Chad Fleischman. It goes low in the dirt, gets past the catcher Trent Bauer, and the runner in Eager Taylor advances to second. And the count now sits at a ball and no strikes. 2 have gotten past Trent Bauer. He's had his troubles this season with pass balls. The 1-0. Runs high, 2 balls and no strikes now. Chad Fleischman, his last time up, would have worked the single. Looking for his second hit here. Right-handed batter stands in, a tall, stocky one. 2-0, that swung on, a popped up right side. Willie Bourbon tracking over by the first base bag, gets underneath of it and records out number 1. So Adonis Lau, the right fielder, will now dig in. He struck out swinging his last time up, one of the 3 victims, or now I guess 4 victims, of Will Gilbert, if you still count the strikeout for Yeager Taylor. It's not the first time this season we've seen the batters get on against Bullfrogs because of past strike 3s. First pitch into Adonis Lau. Swung on and fouled back, 0-1. Adonis Lau out of Bethune-Cookman University. Just finished up his junior year. We're in 56 games, would have been .366. Gilbert checks the runner at second in the 0-1. Swung on that one, a hot shot of a foul ball left side. Luckily, there's some netting here all the way down the right first base side and third base side. So we won't have a repeat of course, what we saw in Kenosha, where the line drive hit a spectator in an ugly sight. Gilbert comes set, checks the runner at second, and the 0-2. Swung on, line drive over the head of the third baseman, Dan Leckie. They're going to send in Yeager Taylor. He rounds third. Throw to second, not going to be in time. Run comes across to score, and the Woodchucks take a 3-1 lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning. An RBI double for Adonis Lau, coming off the bat of who you just would not expect it. Lau struggling coming into the game for the Woodchucks, batting below 170, but gets it done in this one. Gives us dugout a thumbs up, and a well-hit liner from Adonis Lau. Even goes up. Aaron Susi, the catcher, now digs in. Gilbert comes set and deals. Swung on and fouled straight back, 0-1. Aaron Susi, right-handed batter, digs back in. The Boston College product awaits. Will Gilbert comes set and deals in the 0-1. That's a fastball that runs high, and count moves to a ball and a strike. Susi this past season in just 32 at-bats would bat .094 for the Eagles. Gilbert comes set, checks Lau at second, and the 1-1. Check swing, found the outside corner either way, 1-2. Back in high school, Aaron Susi was a high school honorable mention All-American, a great player. Is struggling here recently for the Woodchucks, coming into the series in his last 10 games, batting just .167. Gilbert checks the runner at second, and the 1-2. That one bounces across home plate, gets away from Bauer, and Adondis Lau easily jogs over to third. Another run just 90 feet away now, and the count moves to 2-2. We've seen some pitches like that get away from Gilbert where they just kind of come in and bounce even close to the grass in front of home plate, not even close to the strike zone. The 2-2 runs high and wide, and a full count now. 3 balls and 2 strikes and outs on the board, and a runner at third. Bullfrogs infielders just off of the infield grass now. Playettes the plate. Payoff. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and what the doctor ordered for Gilbert there records out number 2. It's his 5th strikeout of the night, and Michael Ferry, the 9-hole hitter, is due up. The infielders will go back to normal depth as the play's at first now, and Michael Ferry digs in. The UW Milwaukee product this past season would bat .213. First pitch into Bauer, just clips the outside corner, 0-1. Ferry, the right-handed batter, still looking for his first hit in a Woodchucks uniform. The 0-1 runs wide, gets away from Bauer. To the backstop he goes, he can't get it, and it's a run that comes across. Off the glove of Trent Bauer. Another fastball that gets away from Will Gilbert, and another run for the Woodchucks. 4-1 they lead. Talk about relieving some pressure from a guy who's still looking for that first hit. A run comes across without him having to manage one. One. That one runs high, and the count moves to 2 balls and a strike now. A throwing error by Bauer, got a runner over at first. 2-1. Swung gone, line drive to center. Tracking back, Falia raising his glove, recording out number 3. A liner dead center. Falia running straight back to make that play for out number 3. And Adondis Lau comes across to score, and so does Yeager Taylor. Remember, he got on base because of the error by the catcher, Trent Bauer. And that'll do it for the 4th. Stay tuned for the 5th. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107.1 FM.
Is the frozen pizza that you're eating at home tired and worn out? It just doesn't have its stuff anymore. Its toppings are low and inside while the cheese is chin music. The time has come, friends, to make the switch. Make the call to the Brew Pub Bullpen. Bring in the relief and get the win with Brew Pub Lots of Matzo pizzas. Made with premium toppings, then smothered in over half a pound of fresh 100% Wisconsin-made mozzarella cheese, Brew Pub Lots of Matzo pizzas are the ingredients for a great time. Find us online at brewpubpizza.com, on Facebook at Brew Pub Pizza, or follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Brew Pub Pizza. Brew Pub Lots of Matzo Pizza, the ingredients for a great time.
Did you know that we here at the O'Connell Pharmacy would mail your prescriptions to you? At the O'Connell Pharmacy, we would like to make things easy for you. The O'Connell Pharmacy, our family helping your family.
Hello and welcome back to Wausau here at Athletic Park. My name is Nolan Knight, voice of the Frogs. Top of the 5th inning about to get underway. The Bullfrogs, they currently trail the Wisconsin Woodchucks 4-1 as 2 runs come across in this last 4th inning. Due up for the Bullfrogs here in the 5th will be Willie Bourbon. Ben Hart stands on deck, and Connor Beniski in the 3rd.
Let's give Rocco a warm round of applause. Don't forget to visit the rest of the...
Drew Hansen still out on the mound for the Wisconsin Woodchucks. Drew Hansen having a solid game thus far, you could say. Hansen has dealt in a grand total of 5 strikeouts, which ties a season high for him. Hansen, the right-handed hurler, toes the rubber, and Willie Bourbon digs in. Bourbon, his last time up, would go down swinging, and the left-handed batter out of Northwestern digs in. Hansen looking to continue his good play. The right-handed pitcher comes set and deals in the first pitch of the frame. Swung on, a fly ball in foul territory. Running over is the first baseman, Hunter Coleman, gets underneath of it and registers out number 1 just off of the first base line for out number 1. So 1 pitch and 1 out, and that'll bring up Ben Hart, the second baseman. Ben Hart, his last time up, managed the RBI single back in the second frame, the lone run of the game for the Bullfrogs. Right-handed batter out of Oakland digs in, first one to him. To change up right over Broadway, 0-1, he falls behind. Ben Hart recently for the Bullfrogs, a guy that is just on fire. Batting .285 on the season, and in his last 10, batting close to .400. The 0-1, another change up that time, clipping the inside corner, 0-2. Hart digs in. Hansen kicks the leg in the 0-2. Fastball that runs wide, moves the count to a ball and 2 strikes. Ben Hart out of Oakland University, redshirt junior, oldest player on the team. 1-2. Breaking ball, swung on, line drive deep into left field. That one bounces off the warning track and off the wall. Hart rounding first. It's going to be a stand-up double. 2 for 2 now is Ben Hart. And man, is this guy just on fire. Looks over to his bullpen, gives a celebration, and the guy's just having fun out there. Same celebration that Nick Parr put on against the Kenosha Kingfish when Parr would have managed himself an RBI double himself back in his first collegiate at-bat. Of course, a pitcher normally for the Bullfrogs would come in and hit for the Frogs against Kenosha because of injuries, and he didn't do too bad. Would manage himself a double, and sure enough did the same celebration to his bullpen, and so Ben Hart getting in on the fun. First pitch into Connor Beniski is swung on and fouled away left side, 0-1. Drew Hansen comes set, checks the runner at second, and steps off the mound. Ben Hart walks back to second base bang, now reclaims his lead, and Hansen comes set, staring down Beniski. Gives a glance to Ben Hart, and sends in the 0-1. That's a breaking ball that hits the outside corner, 0-2. Got to admit this strike zone here for the home plate umpire, bit head scratching, been all over the place. Drew Hansen comes set. Hart with a large lead at second. The 0-2. Breaking ball. That one runs wide. A ball and 2 strikes now. Connor Beniski out of State College of Florida would sit out this past season from Swamico, Wisconsin, not too far from Green Bay. It's been a nice addition, has had some success early. The 1-2. That one runs wide as well, evens the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Beniski batting .194 in 7 games, has registered 6 hits. A double to his name and 2 RBIs. Probably what's most impressive is that in those 7 games has already recorded 4 runs scored. He's managed to get on base quite often. 2-2. Fastball and runs high and wide, and a full count now. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out on the board. A runner in scoring position in Ben Hart at second, in a 4-1 ball game in favor of the Woodchucks here in the top of the 5th. Hansen comes set. Beniski awaits the left-handed hitter. Payoff pitch. Swung on. A fly ball into left. Stevie Mangrum running over to his right, gets underneath of it, and registers out number 2. Those outfielders out there, they gotta be careful. Looks like they're running on ice whenever they are running to their right or left. We talked about it, a little slippery, a little swampy out there, and you can tell when these guys are tracking back, they're running sure-footedly to make sure they don't slip. So Trent Bauer due up now for the Bullfrogs. Bauer, his last time up, would ground out to the first baseman. Bauer stands in, and Drew Hansen comes set and deal. Swung on, a blooper up the center of the field. Shortstop Dawson has it. The throw to first, not in time. Ben Hart rounding third, comes across to score. A base, or rather an RBI for Trent Bauer. Or rather, it will be an error. The throw from Trey Dawson is in time. Hunter Coleman, the first baseman, puts the glove out. It bounces off the top of the webbing and into the dirt. So it puts a runner on base, the second error for the Woodchucks, and puts a run across for the Bullfrogs. And now trail 4-2. Back up to the top of the lineup as Riley Smith digs in. A fastball goes by him for a strike, 0-1. Riley Smith digs in. Hansen comes set in the 0-1. That one finds the outside corner, 0-2 now. 99 pitches now for Drew Hansen. Pitch count has gotten up there. Riley Smith out there on the night is 0 for 2 after registering a 3 for 4 day yesterday. He's on an 8-game hit streak. We'll see if he can continue it. 0-2 from Hansen is dealt. Swung on and fouled back. And 100 pitches now for Drew Hansen. This will be his last inning of work for the Woodchucks. Riley Smith steps out, kicks his bat with his spikes, now digs back in. Hansen stares him down. Trent Bauer takes the lead from first. 2 outs on the board, top of the 5th inning. The 0-2. Swung on and fouled away right side. Count remains.
For this inning, according to statistician extraordinaire Greg Scott, Green Bay had 17 fouls.
0-2 count, 2 outs. Runner at first. Hansen, right-handed, shakes off one, shakes off another. Likes the third, comes set. 0-2. Runs wide, a 1-2 count now.
Another fastball. He tried to get Alex Sanchez to give him a call. Not this time. 5 strikeouts for Drew Hansen in this ballgame. He has not walked a single.
Top of the 5th inning, Bullfrogs trail by 2, 4-2. Tying run would be at the plate in Riley Smith, the 1-2. That one runs wide and low also, and evens the count up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Riley Smith out of the University of Minnesota from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, recently named to the Major League Dream Showcase. Gets the ability to go out to Madison due to an injury to another player that was selected. 2-2. Swung on and fouled straight back. Of course, Riley Smith, you hear that and you think, oh, well, he shouldn't be there. No, the guy well deserving of the choice. A Northwoods League player of the game 3 nights ago on an 8-game hit streak, batting over 500 in his last 5 games. The guy's on fire, and he's got a good glove as well. Right-handed batter stands in. Drew Hansen comes set. 2-2. That one runs low in the dirt, and it's a full count now after Hansen got ahead 0-2. Riley Smith checks out, looks for the sign from his third base coach. Now digs back in. Drew Hansen takes a deep breath. Smith awaits. Bauer takes the lead from first in the payoff. Swung on, a fly ball into left center field. Running over is the center fielder Logan Foster, raises his glove and squeezes out number 3 to close out the top of the 5th inning. Stay tuned for the bottom half. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107.1 FM.
When you're looking for the perfect game for your appetite, look no further than Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizzas. Made with premium meats and veggies, then topped with over half a pound of 100% fresh, real mozzarella cheese made right here in Wisconsin, every Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizza is a home run. Made with the hungry in mind, Brew Pub pizzas are big, bold, and belong in the big leagues of the frozen pizza industry. Enjoy a delicious piece of Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizza right now from the concession stand, or pick one up at your local favorite grocery store. Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
Hello and welcome back to Athletic Park here in Wausau, Wisconsin. Will Gilbert still out on the mound for the Bullfrogs, right-handed hurler out of Baylor University. So far on the night for the Bullfrogs has dealt in 4 innings of work, allowing just 3 hits, but 4 runs have come across. Just 2 of those are earned, however, and has struck out 5 and walked 2. Not a bad day for the righty. But the bats have not stayed hot for the Bullfrogs, of course. A 17-hit game against the Woodchucks back on Monday, 14 hits on Tuesday. 2 of their best offensive outings all season, but just 3 hits, or rather 4 hits here tonight. They trail the Wisconsin Woodchucks 4-2, and it's errors that have been the difference. 2 unearned runs have come across for the Woodchucks, starting off with a drop strike 3, or rather pass ball strike 3, that put a runner at first. The Bullfrogs would put 2 outs on the board, and then that runner eventually would come around to score, and then sure enough, Don Deslau would come around to score off of a pass ball himself. Just not the prettiest of innings for the Bullfrogs. They do respond with the run in the top of the 5th, however, to keep themselves in the ball game. A 1-2-3 inning could prove well for the Bullfrogs, as they're on a 5-game tear, trying to make it 6 in a row here, already on a season best. The Woodchucks trying to get back in the win column. They're on a 7-game losing streak coming into this one. So due up for the Wisconsin Woodchucks here in the bottom of the 5th inning will be Stevie Mangrum. Left fielders 0 for 1 tonight, hit into a double play his last time up. A rare bat at bat for Mangrum. The all-star on the season, 12 home runs, batting over 300. First to him, a fastball high and wide, 1-0. Stevie Mangrum on this season, batting .323. The guy has been unreal. 1-0. Fastball right over Broadway, 1-1. Played in 59 games, day in and day out. Mangrum finds himself in the lineup. The 1-1, that one runs low as well, 2-1. The hometown favorite, as he played for the Woodchucks this past season and another solid year last year. 2-1, found back in that one off of the bat and into the spots at Trent Bauer that is not covered by any padding on his legs, inside of his thigh it looks like, and he's taking his time to crouch behind home plate again. A painful spot. Looks like he's going to be all right, but likely will have a bruise tomorrow. Very uncomfortable. The count has moved to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Will Gilbert out there on the mound, resets. Mangrum digs in. 2 counts, 2 balls and 2 strikes. No outs on the board, just got underway with the bottom of the 5th. 2-2. And that one's bounced across home plate. I mean, that one bouncing so high, bounces over the shoulder of Trent Bauer, as there's been a couple that have just not been close. Full count now. Gilbert kicks the leg, payoff. That one runs low as well, and Gilbert, frustrated, slaps his glove. I think he thought that was strike number 3, just missing the zone low. And Gilbert putting it all out on the mound here tonight. He's only got so many starts left with just 10 games left to the season. And the right-handed pitcher steps off the mound, now stands back on. Mangrum on base for the 2nd time tonight, was walked back in the 1st frame. Logan Foster digs in. He's 1 for 2 tonight. First one to him. Swing and a miss. 0-1. Foster with the 2-run shot. His 4th home run of the season back in the first inning. Gilbert maneuvers the ball around in his backhand. Now comes set from the hip. And the 6'6" freshman deals in the 0-1. Swung on. A fly ball in shallow right. Troy Johnston running forward, raises his glove, and makes the catch for out number 1.
Now batting for the Woodchucks.
So Logan Foster drops to 1-3 on the day, and Hunter Coleman, the first baseman, digs in. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Struck out swinging back in the 3rd frame and flew out to left field his last time up. Hunter Coleman, left-handed hitter out of Texas A&M, or rather right-handed hitter out of Texas A&M, digs in. Just finished up his freshman season. Would have had 287 this past year with 14 RBIs. First one to him. Fastball that runs wide, a 1-0. Hunter Coleman from Midland, Texas. Awaits. 1-0. Swung on, a fly ball in the infield. Riley Smith underneath of it. Makes the grab. Pop up from Coleman, puts 2 outs on the board.
Now batting for the Woodchucks.
It's going to bring up Trey Dawson, the shortstop out of the University of Kentucky. Of course, this past season did not play at Kentucky as the Hurricane West Virginia product played for Chipola College, where he'd been 279 after transferring in from LSU. Highly recruited out of high school, a 32nd round pick from the Detroit Tigers. First one he sees, it's swung on, a fly ball in foul territory. Running over Johnston, making the sliding grab. Out number 3. First baseman Billy Bourbon, second baseman Ben Hart, and Troy Johnston all converging on it. And a great play there from Troy Johnston, sliding in just off the warning track. That's that area that is swampy. He's going to have a wet uniform after this, but it's out number 3. Bullfrogs leave a runner stranded. That does it for the 5th. Stay tuned for the 6th. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107.1 FM.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Wisconsin did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Hello and welcome back to Athletic Park here, top of the 6th inning. New pitcher out on the mound for the Wisconsin Woodchucks. It's Brad Schwinn, the second time the Bullfrogs have seen Schwinn. Brad Schwinn, right-handed hurler out there on the bump now for the Woodchucks. Schwinn out of, or rather a recent addition to the team for the Woodchucks. In fact, not even on the roster that was printed out at the start of this series. So a guy that's been added since the Bullfrogs have faced off against the Woodchucks. We're in the top of the 6th inning where the Bullfrogs trail 4-2. Due up for the Bullfrogs is Mikey Falia, right-handed hitter out of UC Irvine. He digs in, and Brad Schwinn rocks back, kicks the leg in the first pitch. Swung on, ground ball to the second baseman, Michael Ferry. He's got it on the second bounce, a strong throw to first, and it's in time, beating out Mikey Falia by 2 steps for out number 1.
Number 2, Troy Johnston.
So a 4-3 out brings up Troy Johnston, the right fielder. Troy Johnston on the day 0 for 2. But coming into the game for the Bullfrogs has been Mr. Reliable. Leads the team in hits and RBIs. Left-handed hitter out of Gonzaga stands in, and Schwinn deals. Swung on, line drive, middle of the field, base hit. The 5th of the game for the Bullfrogs. Right over the head of Brad Schwinn. Nearly a dangerous play. Has to duck out of the way of it to avoid a injury there. That could have been ugly. A hot shot of a liner right back at it. Ducks out of the way of it, and it makes its way all the way out into shallow center. A frozen rope. Runner at first, and Troy Johnston with his first hit of the game. That'll bring up Dan Leckie, the cleanup hitter. 0 for 1, or rather 1 for 2 tonight. Managed a single back in the 4th inning. Would steal second as well in that one. Throw back to first. Johnson has to slide back in. Gets underneath the tag of Coleman. And gets his uniform nice and dirty. He retakes his lead. Dan Leckie stands in. Brad Schwinn comes set and deals. Fastball high and inside, 1-0. Bullfrogs managed to get a run across in the top of the 5th inning, as Ben Hart would lead things off with a double and then score on an error.
Struck out 2 others out through that 7th inning unscathed.
2-0 count now. Like he stands in the delivery. That one swung up, fouled away right side, out of play and into the bordering grandstand seating on the right side. 2-1. A great stadium here in Wausau. Was home to the 2017 Northwoods League All-Star Game. They made some renovations this past season, including the bullpen that sits on the right side. It's a large beer garden, and there's a 2-story garden on the left side where it seems pretty packed tonight. Corporate sponsors rent that one out, whereas the bullpen on the right side more or less a bit more open to the public per se, like the Lanny's Deck in Bud Light Beach Club. 2-1 pitch comes in. That one swung on and fouled away right side and foul again. 2-2.
Kalamazoo and Madison playing a doubleheader today. Kalamazoo is all but out of the playoffs.
2-2. Breaking ball that runs inside. That one close. Dan Leckie could have easily been rung up that time. Instead, a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out on the board and a runner at first in Troy Johnston. Brad Schwinn stares him down, comes set. Throw back to first. Johnson has to slide back in safely again. Bullfrogs trail by 2, 4-2. They're trying to sneak back into this game. Responded from a 2-run inning with one of their own to keep them in it in the top half of the 5th. Payoff pitch. Fastball that comes across for a strike. Dan Leckie knew it right over the plate. Wish he would have swung at it. And Brad Schwinn finds himself, or rather grabs his first strikeout of the night. A backwards K to Leckie. And Leckie now 1 for 3 on the night, and Ben Challey digs in. Challey 1 for 2 would lead off his game with a double in the 2nd inning. Would come around to score in that inning as well when Ben Hart would manage an RBI single. First one into Ben Challey, a fastball low, 1-0. Challey, the right-handed hitter out of UW Milwaukee, he stands in. Brad Schwinn comes set and deals. 1-0, a big swing and a miss. Moves the count to 1-1. Challey on the season for the Bullfrogs. Managing to bat .211. Of course, a newcomer to the team per se. 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Started his season out on a temporary contract, was not re-signed to a permanent contract. Would go back to his home in Tennessee, spend the rest of the summer just hanging out and working your everyday job, and Gets the call back that the Bullfrogs needed a infielder, and sure enough, top in his car, and here he is. The 1-2 fastball and runs wide. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Has been solid since he has come back to the team for the Bullfrogs. Challey here in his debut rather, batting 400, managing to go 2 for 5. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. The second swinging K in a row for Ben Challey, and the Bullfrogs leave a runner at first. They trail 4-2 after 6.5. Stay tuned for it is 5.5. Stay tuned for the bottom of the 6th. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107.1 FM.
Want that new home? You can own it. NEW Credit Union has several mortgage options to choose from. Along with our 5- and 7-year balloon and 10-year fixed terms, NEW Credit Union now offers a 15-year fixed term. Find out how to get pre-approved for your home loan. Ask one of our knowledgeable mortgage specialists. Call 800-924-1250 today. That's 800-924-1250. Offices in Oconto Falls, Surrey, and Oconto. NEW Credit Union is an equal housing opportunity lender, serving all who live or work in Brown, Marinette, Shawano, and Oconto counties. Federally insured by the NCUA. All loans subject to approval. Visit www.newcu.org for more details. Choose your home. At NEW Credit Union, we can help you own it.
Hello and welcome back to Wausau, Wisconsin here at Athletic Park. Bottom of the 6th frame about to get underway. The Bullfrogs trail the Wisconsin Woodchucks 4-2. Will Gilbert still out on the mound for the Bullfrogs. He's pitched a solid game. 5 innings, allowing just 2 earned runs, striking out 5 and walking 3. But 4 have come across. Bullfrogs trail the Woodchucks 4-2. Leading things off for the Woodchucks will be Eager Taylor, who watches a fastball go by wide at 1-0. Eager Taylor tonight 0 for 2 would come around to score back in the 4th frame despite striking out. The 1-0. Fastball then runs way high. Trent Bauer can't even put the mid on it. Runs all the way back into the backstop and rolls way up the backstop netting. I mean, that nearly got into the stadium. A 2-0 County falls behind. No outs on the board. Nobody on. Bottom of the 6th frame. 2-0. Swing and a miss. 2-1. Trey Austin would get on base back in the 4th frame because of a pass ball. Trent Bauer would run over to the backstop, pick it up, throw it to first, and it would not be on target. And eventually he would come around to score. The first of the 2 unearned runs. 2-1 pitch. Runs wide. 3-1. As he would come across to score from an RBI double from Adondis Lau, and then Lau would move over to third off of a pass ball, and then score on a pass ball. 3-1. Swung on and fouled back. Full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, no outs, nobody on. Bottom of the 6th inning, the Bullfrogs trail 4-2. Frogs with 5 hits on the night, and the Woodchucks with 3. Left-handed batter and Taylor digs in, and Gilbert deals in the payoff. Right over the plate. Taylor thought it was strike 3. He was going back to his dugout. Somehow it missed somewhere. And I think he was ready to walk back to his dugout with strike 3. Instead, he lays his bat down and runs over to first.
Now batting for the Woodchucks from Lamar University, number 9,
Chad Fleischman, the third baseman, now digs in. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Managed a single in the 1st frame and would pop up to first his last time up. Right-handed batter digs in. First one to him. Fastball and then runs wide, 1-0. So the 4th walk tonight from Will Gilbert. who has struggled with walking batters this season, has walked more than he has struck out. Fleischman on the season for the Wisconsin Woodchucks, coming into the series struggling, batting just 167. The 1-0, swing and a miss, evens the count up, a ball and a strike. Fleischman out of Lamar University, the junior this past season, would bat .241 with 6 home runs. Transferred into Lamar from Ranger College, and was on the Woodchucks team this past season. Had a bit better of a year last year for the Woodchucks. And the junior right-handed hitter stands back in. Fleischman awaits. Will Gilbert maneuvers the ball around in his hand behind his back hip. Now comes set, and the 1-1 is dealt. Swung on, fly ball, foul territory, out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Will Gilbert out of Baylor University from Plano, Texas. Transferred into Baylor, so did not play this past season for the Bears. And he deals in the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, but it gets away from Bauer. The runner moves over to second as it's a wild pitch from Gilbert. And a runner in scoring position now. It is another strikeout for Gilbert. It'll be his 6th of the game. And it'll be Adondas Lau who digs in. Lau on the night is 1 for 2, managed the RBI double in the 4th frame. Left-handed batter stands in and Gilbert deals. Swung on, ground ball to the second baseman, Ben Hart. He's got it on the first bounce. The throw to first is in time, and out number 2 recorded. Runner at second moves over to third, and Aaron Susi, the catcher, digs in.
For the Woodchucks from Boston College, number 28, Aaron Susi.
Aaron Susi out of Boston College on the season for the Wisconsin Woodchucks, coming into the at-bat, batting just .233. The right-handed batter stands in, first 1-2 on. Swung on and found away right side, 0-1. Aaron Susi this past season at Boston College would have his struggles. Of course, Susi would have had just .093 there. Gilbert comes set in the 0-1. That one runs wide and moves the count to a ball and a strike. Another run just 90 feet away for the Woodchucks. They lead 4-2 here in the bottom of the 6th frame. Gilbert comes set and deals. That one runs high and a 2-1 count now. Gilbert comes set. Susi digs in and the 2-1 is delivered. Swung on, popped up behind home plate. Running back is Bauer, but it bounces in foul territory. Out of play. Moves the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, Gilbert retoes the rubber here. An even count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs on the board, trying to leave a runner stranded and keep his Frogs in it. 2-2. Swung on, another pop-up, foul territory. That one out of play as well, and the batter in Susi doing everything he can to try to stay alive.
Now extending his at-bat against Will Gilbert. Now throwing 93 pitches in this game.
Gilbert, right-handed hurler. Shakes off one, likes the next. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The delivery swung on and fouled back, and Susi fighting to stay alive. Probably could have watched that one go by. It would have been high. Instead, takes a cut and gets underneath of it. Count remains. Deuce is wild. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs on the board. A run 90 feet away in Yeager Taylor. 2-2 is swung on and found away as well. Gilbert trying to get out of this inning and give his Frogs a chance on offense. They've out-hit the Woodchucks tonight, but have been outscored 4-2. Right-handed pitcher, and Gilbert comes set. Kicks the leg, the payoff. Breaking ball, runs inside and hits him in the back. Gilbert's pitches have really been all over the place tonight. We've seen some run way high, have seen some run way low. And loses his composure after Aaron Susi fouls off 4 or 5. A breaking ball runs in and hits him square in the back. And down to the bottom of the lineup we go. Michael Ferry, 0 for 2 tonight, 0 for 6 all time. Still looking for his first hit in a Woodchucks uniform. First one to him, a fastball wide, 1-0.
Aaron Susi does his job very much. I'd love to have driven in Taylor, but he is all but assured that we'll
the 1-0. Runs inside, that one nearly hits Ferry, 2-0. Susi at first, off the hit by pitch. Yeager Taylor at third, he will take off at the sound of the bat. 2-0 from Gilbert. That one runs low and he falls behind. 3 balls and no strikes now. And Will Gilbert resets. Runner takes the lead at first and third. 3-0. Runs right across home plate, 3-1. He gets one back. Gilbert just reaching 100 pitches there. His day will come to the end after this inning. 3 balls and a strike. The delivery. Runs across for a ball, missing the zone by inches. And the most dangerous man in the stadium comes up to bat. Stevie Mangrum. The All-Star has 12 home runs on the season, batting .323 on the year. The Virginia Tech Hokie has been on fire, and the bases are juiced. 2 outs on the board. The Frogs trail by 2. If Gilbert can get out of it, it'd give them some momentum. First pitch. Fastball right over Broadway, 0-1. Frogs with 5 hits tonight, just 3 for the Woodchucks. Gilbert has walked 4 batters tonight, and a few errors have been the difference. The 0-1. Swung on, line drive left side. Dan Leckie can't make the play. 1 run will score. They're going to send in another. He comes across, 6-2 ball game. 2 RBI base hit for Stevie Mangrum. Just the 4th hit of the game for the Woodchucks, and they take a 6-2 lead. A hot shot of a grounder left side to the third baseman, Dan Leckie. Diving to his right, puts his mitt on it, but it ricochets off of it. He can't make the squeeze, and it's into left field, and it's 2 runs that come across to score as Yeager Taylor and Aaron Susi come across to score. Michael Ferry at second and Mangrum at first after his 2 RBI single. Logan Foster, the center fielder, now digs in, and Gilbert now just wants to get out of the frame. Was a fantastic play away from getting out of it. If Leckie can put the glove on it, it would have been an easy out at first. Gilbert thought about throwing to third. Steps off the mound. Runner gets back safely. And Michael Ferry. And Gilbert retoes the rubber. You can tell he's frustrated. Checks the runner at second. Gives him another glance. Delivers. Finds the inside corner, 0-1. Logan Foster on the night, 1 for 3, would manage the 2-run home run back in the first inning, giving the Woodchucks a 2-0 lead. The Bullfrogs responded with a run of their own in the top of the second, an RBI double from Ben Hart. The Woodchucks would add 2 more in the bottom of the fourth, the 0-1, fastball wide, 1-1. And the Bullfrogs would respond to those 2 runs with a run of their own in the top of the fifth. Here we are in the bottom of the 6th inning, and the Woodchucks have put 2 runs across now. A 2 RBI single from Stevie Mangrum. And we'll see if the Bullfrogs can respond in the next frame. They'd need more than just 1 run to stay in it. And a 1-1 count now, and Logan Foster, well, he's looking to put the Bullfrogs, or rather the Woodchucks, way ahead and open up this ball game. The 1-1 pitch is swung on and missed, 1-2 now. Foster digs back in. Gilbert stares him down, trying to get out of the frame and give his Bullfrogs a chance here. The right-handed hurler checks the runner at second and sends in the 1-2. Runs low and in the dirt, and the count moves even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. Frogs trail by 4, 6-2. It's a 2-run inning for the Woodchucks. And if Logan Foster gets a hold of another, it could be more. Gilbert comes set, checks the runner at second, and deals. Swung on and fouled back. Count remains. Off the bat and then ricochets off of the face mask of Trent Bauer. So 2 balls and 2 strikes now, 2 outs on the board. Runners at first and second. Gilbert steps off the rubber, a little worried about the runner at second. Stands back on. Foster steps out, gives a practice swing, now digs back in. And Falk steps off of the rubber again, motions for Trent Bauer to run over to him. They want to brush up on the sides here. Gilbert wants to get out of this frame and give his offense a shot at trying to put some runs back across. We're here in the bottom of the 6th inning where 2 have already come across. And Logan Foster, the right-handed hitter, digs back in. Foster, the Texas A&M Aggie, digs in. Gilbert comes set. Runners take their leads at first and second, the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Will Gilbert gets out of the frame, leaving 2 stranded, but it's 2 runs that come across. Stevie Mangrum managing the 2 RBI single puts the Woodchucks ahead by 4, 6-2. Stay tuned for this 7th inning. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107.1 FM.
American Lodge and Suites Green Bay West is the ideal location for your next stay, whether you're traveling for business or pleasure. They are proud to provide the amenities you want most and deliver them at the highest level possible, starting with comfortable, quieter guest rooms. Welcome to genuine American hospitality.
Is the frozen pizza that you're eating at home tired and worn out? It just doesn't have its stuff anymore. Its toppings are low and inside while the cheese is chin music. The time has come, friends, to make the switch. Make the call to the Brew Pub Bullpen. Bring in the relief and get the win with Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizzas. Made with premium toppings, then smothered in over half a pound of fresh 100% Wisconsin-made mozzarella cheese, Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizzas are the ingredients for a great time. Find us online at brewpubpizza.com, on Facebook at Brew Pub Pizza, or follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Brew Pub Pizza. Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizza, the ingredients for a great time.
Jackson Owen. Hello and welcome back to Wausau, Wisconsin, here at Athletic Park. My name's Nolan Knight, voice of the Bullfrogs. Top of the 7th frame, about to get underway. New pitcher out on the mound for the Wisconsin Woodchucks. It'll be Jackson Owens. Jackson Owens, a two-way player for the Woodchucks. As Jackson Owens out of Lake Davis, Texas, also an infielder from Texas A&M Corpus Christi, the junior out there on the bump on the season for the Wisconsin Woodchucks. Coming into the game, has had some success at the plate and on the mound, as Owens on the season this past season for Texas A&M Corpus Christi would look good out on the mound. And in 12 games for the Woodchucks has looked even better. Has pitched in 16 2/3 innings, has dealt in a 2.70 ERA. Has not recorded a save or a decision in his time out on the mound. And the right-handed hurler digs in, or rather out there on the mound, comes set, and Willie Bourbon digs in. He watches a fastball run by high, 1-0. Willie Bourbon, the right-handed batter out of Northwestern, stands in and waiting. The 1-0 comes in. It's a fastball that hits the inside corner, 1-1. Willie Bourbon 0 for 2 tonight, popped up to first his last time up and struck out back in the second frame. The 1-1. That one runs wide, moves the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. Jackson Owen out there on the bump, comes set. Rocks back and sends in the 2-1. Swung on, a blooper into left center field, base hit. The 6th hit of the game for the Bullfrogs, and the 1st hit of the game for Bourbon. And exactly what the Bullfrogs need here. They need to string together a couple hits, so they want to try to get back into it as they trail here in the top of the 7th inning, 6-2. A frozen rope into left center field puts Willie Bourbon on, and Ben Hart, the second baseman, digs in. Hart, the hottest hitter likely even in the Northwoods League, digs in, batting over 400 here in his last 10. The first one to him. Fastball that runs high, 1-0. Is 2 for 2 tonight, managed to double his last time up in an RBI single in the 2nd inning. Would be named the Aurora Baycare Sports Medicine Player of the Game back on Monday. 1-0, swung on, line drive into right center field, or rather down the right field line. Another base hit. Willie Bourbon rounding second, going to get over to the third base bag, standing up, and runners on the corners now with no outs to lead off this top of the 7th inning. The Bullfrogs, they're down by 4 runs here. They're going to need to play it a couple more before the Woodchucks get nervous again. Of course, the Frogs would take, or rather come back to win after being down by 4 against the Woodchucks on Tuesday. They trailed 5-1 at one point in this game, or rather 5-1 at one point in that game on Tuesday, before they managed to make a miraculous comeback, their biggest comeback of the season, to win. First one into Connor Beniski is a fastball that is found away left side, 0-1.
Third hit of the ball game from Ben Hart. He's now got 9 hits in 6 games.
Runners on the corners, no outs on the board. Connor Beniski digs in, looking for a hit. He's 0 for 2. First one into him. After the 0-1, runs inside, 1-1. Jackson Owens has been phenomenal this season, as mentioned, batting .270. The 1-1. Fastball that runs way high and wide, moves the count to 2 balls and a strike. No outs on the board, runners at first and second. Connor Beniski digs in, he awaits. 2-1. Swung on and found away left side. Evens it up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runners at first and third. The Bullfrogs trying to string some hits together here and trying to get back into it. They trail by 4, but with no outs on the board, runners at first and third. Connor Beniski, the State College of Florida product, stands in. And Owen steals in the 2-2. It's swung on, a chopper to the second baseman, Michael Ferry. They get the out at second. To throw to first is in time. Matt Ellenbest, first base coach, can't believe it. He comes over to talk with the umpire, saying that he was off the bat. A run comes across for the Bullfrogs, however. And the home plate umpire and first base umpire now having a word with each other. The throw a little bit off of the bag. A run comes across either way for the Bullfrogs. And so they now trail by 3, 6-3. And another meeting here. They overturned one throw over there at first already. And this time they won't overturn it. A fist and an out number 2. And so with no outs on the board, the Bullfrogs get a run across, but they hit into the double play. Connor Beniski hits into the 4-6-3 double play, and Trent Bauer, the catcher, digs in with nobody on. Trent Bauer, left-handed hitter out of Ellsworth, digs in. The first one to him, a fastball right over Broadway, 0-1.
4-6-3 GDP. Art Gone going to second. SE Gone going to first. Bases empty for the catcher.
The 0-1. Fastball that clips the inside corner, and Bauer goes down the count. No balls and 2 strikes now. Trent Bauer, a guy from Green Bay, grew up going to Green Bay East High School. Of course, the same high school that plays their home games at Joe Annie Stadium. The 0-2 pitch is swung on, a blooper into center. Logan Foster there to get underneath of it, and it makes the grab for out number 3. That does it for the top of the 7th inning. Time for the 7th inning stretch. Stay tuned. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107.1 FM.
Witt's O'Connell Falls Piggly Wiggly's 2-day truckload produce sale is Thursday and Friday, August 3rd and 4th. Red seedless grapes, 99 cents a pound. Cauliflower, 99 cents a pound. Fresh sweet corn, 6 for $2. Sweet cantaloupe, $1.99 each. Whole sweet watermelon, $2.99 each, and much, much more. Quality produce while supplies last at Witt's O'Connell Falls Piggly Wiggly's annual produce sale, August 3rd and August 4th.
Over the past 60 years, Triangle Distributing has maintained itself as a leader in the market as it has responded to the changes in product innovation and consumer demands. It is in this commitment to employees, customers, community, and supplier partners that has enabled them to remain one of the best and most respected distributors in our state.
Yep. Hello and welcome back to Athletic Park here in Wausau, Wisconsin. New pitcher out on the mound for the Bullfrogs is Scott Gorsuch, right-handed pitcher out of UW Oshkosh. Scott Gorsuch relieving Will Gilbert, whose day has come to a close as he hit his pitch count limit. Gilbert would deal in 6 frames for the Bullfrogs, allowing just 4 hits and 4 earned runs, but 6 come across altogether as 2 scored off of unearned runs. 5 walks on the night as well for Gilbert. Would deal in 7 strikeouts along the way, however. Gorsuch, the right-handed hurler out of UW Oshkosh, has had his ups and downs on the season for the Bullfrogs. Gorsuch coming into the game for the Bullfrogs, supporting an ERA that sits at 7.36. In 10 appearances, has dealt in 18 1/3 innings, throwing 21 strikeouts, and has a 1-1 record. See what he can do against the Woodchucks batters here. They only have 4 hits tonight compared to 7 for the Bullfrogs. And due up for the Wisconsin Woodchucks here in the bottom of the 7th inning will be Hunter Coleman, the first baseman. Coleman on the day 0 for 3. His last time up would pop up to the shortstop Riley Smith. Hunter Coleman, the right-handed hitter, stands in. Scott Gorsuch out there on the bump, comes set. Stares him down, wasting no time, sends in the first pitch. It's swung gone, line drive, right center field, base hit. Make it 5 hits tonight for the Woodchucks, and the first of the game for Hunter Coleman. So he leads things off here in the bottom of the 7th, and Trey Dawson, the shortstop, will dig in. Dawson 0 for 3 tonight. His last time up, grounded out to second. Trey Dawson out of Kentucky University. The LSU transfer digs in. Scott Gorsuch, the right-handed pitcher, comes set, and the first pitch. Fastball high and wide. 1 ball and no strikes. No outs on the board here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Runner over at first, and Hunter Coleman, he gets the base hit. And the Bullfrogs trail 6-3. The 1-0. Fastball that runs high, 2-0. The Frogs just won't go away, it seems, as the Wisconsin Woodchucks took a 2-0 lead in the first inning, a 2-run home run from Foster. And then the Bullfrogs responded with a run of their own in the top of the 2nd. 2-0. Fastball that runs high, 3-0. And then 2 runs in the bottom of the 4th frame by the Woodchucks that the Bullfrogs responded with a run of their own to stay in it. 4-2 was the score. And then in the bottom of the 6th inning, 2 runs for the Woodchucks, and the Bullfrogs responded with another run. So that's where we're at now with a 6-3 ball game. Bullfrogs very much still in striking distance. 3-0 pitch comes across right over Broadway. Dawson with the take sign, watches it by for a strike, 3-1. The dish. That one runs high and tight for ball 4, and after a single, Scott Gorsuch deals in a walk, and there's runners at first and second now to lead off this bottom of the 7th inning. Due up now is Yeager Taylor, the designated hitter. Taylor on the day 0 for 2. Struck out in the 4th inning, but came around to score as he got on base due to the pass ball. And then back in the 6th inning, would work the walk. Would come around to score in that 6th frame as well as the left-handed batter stands in. Taylor out of UC Riverside this past season would bat .274. The sophomore digs in, first one to him. Fastball and runs wide, 1-0. Runners at first and second, no outs on the board here. Bottom of the 7th frame. Scott Gorsuch, the UW Oshkosh product, comes set, takes a breath, the 1-0. Swung on and fouled back, evens it up, 1-1. Scott Gorsuch this past season for UW Oshkosh would have a solid year. A 2.33 ERA and a 1-1 record, allowing just 12 hits over his entire junior season for the Titans. The righty comes set, nods his head. Deals in the 1-1. Swung on and fouled back, 1-2, he falls behind. Gorsuch, right-handed pitcher, walks around the mound, now toes it. Hunter takes their leads at first and second, Coleman at second, and Dawson at first. Taylor patiently awaits. Gorsuch now comes set from the hip. The 1-2. Swung on, popped up foul, left side, count remains. Taylor back during his, or rather, excuse me, Gorsuch back during his sophomore year would post a 3.38 ERA with a 2-0 record. So Gorsuch has found some success at UW Oshkosh. But as mentioned, struggling a bit here for the Bullfrogs, just a 7.36 ERA. The 1-2. Swung on, foul tipped into the mitt of Trent Bauer for out number 1. So after the walk, Gorsuch works himself a strikeout, well earned as well, as Taylor was fouling off a few there. and puts an out on the board. Chad Fleischman, the third baseman, will now dig in. Fleischman 1 for 3. Scott Gorsuch out of Whitewater, Wisconsin. Of course, not too far from Green Bay. Out there on the mound, resets. Fleischman digs in and awaits. Gorsuch steps off the rubber, now toes it again. Chad Fleischman out of Lamar University. The Minnesota native awaits. Gorsuch comes set and deals. Fastball that comes right across Broadway, 0-1. Fleischman just finished up his junior campaign at Lamar, where he would bat .241 this past season. A returner to this Woodchucks team. Right-handed batter stands in, and the 0-1 is delivered. Swing and a miss, and he falls behind. No balls and 2 strikes. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner at first and second. Bullfrogs looking to turn 2 here and give themselves some momentum in the 8th. The 0-2 runs wide for a ball. 1-2 now. Gorsuch steps off the rubber again. Him and Bauer going over the signs a few times now. And now he likes one. Comes set and sends in the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Both runners advance as it gets away from Bauer, and so it'll be a tough situation for Gorsuch to get over. That's a big deal. Instead of runners at first and second with 2 outs, now runners at second and third with 2 outs. It's the second strikeout in a row for the hurler in Scott Gorsuch. But it brings up Adondis Lau, who already has an RBI double tonight. He's 1 for 3. Last time up, Adondis Lau would ground out to second. Scott Gorsuch motions for Trent Bauer to come out to the mound to have a quick discussion with him. They go over the signs again, as it seemed like they were having some troubles with that earlier in the game. But now Bauer back behind home plate, crouches, and Adondis Lau, the left-handed hitter, digs in. Lau out of Bethune-Cookman University. Junior left-handed hitter stands in, struggling at the plate this season for the Woodchucks, coming into the series, batting just .212 in 11 games. The newcomer stands in. Scott Gorsuch comes set and deals. Fastball right over Broadway, 0-1. Lau out of Elmhurst, New York, Played 2 years at Southern Community College, where he would bat .328 before transferring into Bethune. The 0-1 swung on and missed, and Gorsuch an out away of getting out of the bind. 0-2 count, 2 outs on the board. Gorsuch gains a little confidence, nods his head when he gets the ball back from Bauer, and retoes the rubber. Runners take their leads at second and third. Frogs trail 6-3, bottom of the 7th. 0-2. Swung on and fouled straight back, and the Bethune-Cookman University product stays alive. This past season, Lau would have a lot of success at Bethune-Cookman, batting .366. The left-handed batter stands back in. Gorsuch comes set. The 0-2. That one runs wide, and the count moves to a ball and 2 strikes now. Scattered crowd here on this Thursday night in Wausau. We were worried about what the weather was going to be like tonight, but it looks like it has not had much effect here tonight. Have not seen any rain since the bus ride. The 1-2. Runs high, evens it up. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. Here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Bullfrogs trail 6-3. They've out-hit the Woodchucks tonight 7-5. Both teams with 2 errors. Adondis Lau digs back in. Awaiting the offering from Gorsuch, who deals. Swung on, line drive left field. Running over is the left fielder, Connor Beniski, and he makes the snow cone grab. It's a frozen rope out there. Could be an easy out, but Connor Beniski not used to left field. He's an infielder, and he gets the job done just barely. Stretching out hardly, managing to get a glove on it, but he gets just enough of it. That does it for the 7th frame. A good play from Connor Beniski leaves 2 runners in scoring position. Stay tuned for the 8th. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107.1 FM.
Tri-City Glass and Doors, locally owned and family operated, and has been since 1960. Specializing in commercial glass projects and automotive glass repair. Having grown up right here in Northeast Wisconsin, Tri-City understands your needs and wants to be the residential glass and door professionals you can count on. They're here for your family in all of life stages, from building an addition on your home for your newborn to applying Aquapel to your new driver's car. Additionally, they are locally owned, so there's no hoops to jump through. You can call them or come in at any time to talk directly to one of their glass and door experts. Triangle Distributing is a diversified distributor of high-quality beverages that is focused on providing customer satisfaction, service with well-trained personnel that drives the market through teamwork, goals, and strong relationships.
Athletic Park here in Wausau, Wisconsin. Top of the 8th inning about to get underway. The Bullfrogs trail 6-3. New pitcher out on the mound for the Wisconsin Woodchucks, and it will be the guy that they have gone to day in and day out. Lenny Guizdala, 28 appearances this season. This will be his 29th, and he has the best ERA on the team. 2.15, a 2-1 record, and 1 save. Last time out, the Bullfrogs rocked him. We'll see if they can do it tonight, as in his last appearance, he would pitch just 2/3 of a frame. Couldn't even complete his inning of work. And when the Bullfrogs put 3 hits across him, including a double and a triple, they put 3 earned runs against him as well, and he would throw 3 batters over to first base easily, walking 3, and striking out 1 in just 2/3 of an inning. We'll see if the Bullfrogs can manage 3 more against him tonight. They trail by 3, 6-3. We're in the top of the 8th inning. Connor Beniski grabbed an RBI in the top of the 7th and then made a snow cone grab in the bottom half of the frame to get the Bullfrogs out of it, leaving 2 stranded in scoring position. 2 up for the Bullfrogs will be the meat of the lineup. We'll see if Guizdala can do it again. It'll be Riley Smith, the shortstop, to lead things off. He's 0 for 3 and coming into the game on an 8-game hit streak. We'll see if he can make it 9. This will likely be his last at-bat. Top of the 8th inning. Couldn't ask for a hit at any better time than this. Right-handed batter digs in, first one to him. Swung on, slow grounder to short. Dawson has it, the throw to first in time, and Riley Smith goes down, 0 for 4. A 6-3 out puts an out on the board, and Mikey Falia, the center fielder, will now dig in. Falia, he's 0 for 3 himself. Right-handed batter out of UC Irvine digs in, and Lenny Guizdala continuing right where he left off. Before he faced off against Green Bay, that is. The Northwood University product, as mentioned, 2-1 on the year, a 2.15 ERA. First one into Falia, fastball inside, 1-0.
Before I continue on that, it's notable that Riley Smith is now 0 for 4 today. 3 hits on Tuesday and 4 hits on Monday against Wisconsin.
The 1-0. Fastball and then hits the outside corner, moves the count to a ball and a strike. 1 out on the board. Nobody on here in the top of the 8th inning. Bullfrogs have just 5 outs left to their names to try to get some runs across, as a mist has come in to Wausau here now. 1-1. Fastball high and tight, 2-1, so there's a haze over the field, and what was already a damp field will now turn wet as a light mist coming out from right field into home plate. A 2-1 count, 1 out on the board. The delivery Fastball right over the plate, moves the count to 2-2. Woodchucks trying to break a 7-game losing streak. Bullfrogs looking to try to make it 6 straight. They're going to have to come back again. They trail by 6-3. Guizdala out on the mound. Comes set and sends in the 2-2. It's wide, full count. Mikey Flea out of UC Irvine, grew up in Irvine, California. Older brother having his success out in the California League with the Modesto Nuts. Payoff pitch. Swung on and fouled straight back. Flea stays alive. Mikey Flea supports the white batting gloves with yellow accents. It's a new look for him. Long sleeve Under Armour on the right arm. He digs in. Guizdala, the left-handed pitcher, comes set and sends in the payoff pitch. Swung on, ground ball to second. He's got it easily. The throw to first is in time, beating out Falia by 2 steps. And it's 2 ground outs that puts 2 outs on the board.
Number 2, Troy Johnson.
A 6-3 ground out, and then a 4-3 ground out. And Guizdala an out away from making it a 1-2-3 inning now, as Troy Johnson, the right fielder, digs in. Johnson tonight is 1 for 3, managed a single back in the 6th inning. Left-handed batter out of Gonzaga digs in, and Guizdala comes set and deals. Swung on, ground ball right side. That one just getting past the second baseman. Another base hit for Troy Johnston. And to make it 8 tonight for the Bullfrogs. Johnson now 2 for 4. That brings up the cleanup hitter in Dan Leckie, and the Bullfrogs still in this game by every means. Leckie, who has managed some long balls here in just a few games played for the Bullfrogs, if he hits one here, it would be the tying run at the plate with the next batter up. Right-handed batter out of Lafayette College digs in. Lenny Guizdala comes set and deals. Fastball and runs wide, 1-0. Dan Leckie here in his last 10 games for the Bullfrogs, batting .316, including 2 home runs and 8 RBIs. The 1-0, swung on, line drive left field. That gets past the third baseman, a base hit. Rounding second is Troy Johnston. He's going to get to third standing up, and so is Dan Leckie. He gets to second with a stand-up double, and the tying run comes to the plate. Lenny Guizdala now in a bind. Tying run at the plate, and Ben Challey. Challey has not hit a home run for the Bullfrogs this season, but Challey this past year for UW Milwaukee would hit a few. Challey with a big swing. He's got himself some doubles and triples to his name this year already, and he represents the tying run. He digs in with 2 runners in scoring position. Both get on with 2 outs on the board. The mist picks up here. It's becoming a wet park. First one in. Fastball right over the plate. Challey didn't like it, though. 0-1. Ben Challey tonight is 1 for 2. A double back in the second inning, but has struck out twice since. Guizdala trying to get out of the frame. Runners at second and third. 2 outs on the board. The 0-1. Swung on, a slicing foul ball right side, 0-2. Ben Challey, you can tell he's a new guy just from his bat. No pine tar, no scrapes, no nothing on it. It's looks like it's just out of the box. He digs in, waves his bat around. Lenny Guizdala out there on the bump, comes set. Challey awaits, runners at first or second and third. The 0-2 swung on, ground ball to second. He's got it to throw to first in time, and Guizdala gets out of it. Forces out a ground out to second, and the Bullfrogs will have to try to hold on for the fireworks in the ninth. They trail by 3. They leave 2 stranded in scoring position. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network, 107.1 FM.
Honey, get the camera. Riley's rolling again.
That dog always gets excited up here at the cabin.
Riley loves the woods, don't you, Riley? Roll, Riley, roll. You getting this?
I'm getting it all. It's fabulous. But we can't upload it until we get home.
Right, no data connection up here.
Challenge.
Coach McCarthy?
Mason Crosby.
Switch to Cellcom, guys. Our coverage is great, whether you're out here or anywhere coast to coast.
Yeah, Riley's fans don't want to wait.
Now Riley's really on a roll.
At Cellcom, we've got you covered out in the country and all across the country. Cellcom, built for you.
Very athletic. I think we can use him on special teams.
But not the kick, right?
We'll see.
This summer at Cellcom, save $100 on a new LG G6, and we'll cover your cost to switch from another carrier. Cellcom, built for you. Activation, flex agreement, and data subscription required. Device trade-in required. Restrictions apply. Trademarks and names are property of their respective owners. Visit cellcom.com/save for complete details.
Hello and welcome back to Athletic Park here in Wausau, Wisconsin. My name is Nolan Knight, voice of the Bullfrogs. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on 107.1 FM. The Bullfrogs trail the Wisconsin Woodchucks here 6-3. Their 5-game winning streak in jeopardy. The Wisconsin Woodchucks, well, they got something to play for. A 7-game losing streak, trying to get back in the win column. Scott Gorsuch still out on the mound for the Bullfrogs. The right-handed hurler out of UW Oshkosh would get out of a bind in the bottom of the 7th inning, leaving 2 stranded in scoring position. Leading things off will be Aaron Susi here in the bottom of the 8th inning. He watches one go by for a ball, 1-0. Aaron Susi tonight 0 for 1, a strikeout in the 4th, but hit by a pitch his last time up in the 6th frame and then worked the walk in the 2nd. Trent Bauer jogs out to the mound to have a quick word with Gorsuch. Now jogs back and crouches behind home plate. If the Bullfrogs can get out of this 8th frame, due up would be Willie Bourbon, Ben Hart, and Connor Beniski. Scott Gorsuch comes set. Right-handed hurler nods his head, kicks his leg, the 1-0. Swung on, slicer in the infield. Ben Hart charging, picks it up barehanded, throw to first. In time. What a play from Ben Hart. Ben Hart has had his struggles this season. He leads the entire Northwoods League in errors. But what a play there. Charging into the infield, grasping it up barehanded, sidearm throwing it to first, and Willie Bourbon is there to make the squeeze for out number 1. That brings up Michael Ferry, the second baseman, who is still in search of that first hit in a Woodchucks uniform. Did get on base for his first time in the 6th inning with a walk. First one to him. Swung on, line drive into right field, foul, and that mist has really picked up. It's nearly a rain at this point, but I don't know if you can, I think it would still be labeled a mist. It's a lot of water nonetheless. Soaking the field here. Umpire's going to let play go on since we are just about an inning away. The 0-1. That one runs low, 1-1. And the longer this miss goes, the longer and tougher it's going to be for the closer for the Woodchucks to try to put the Bullfrogs down. It is not easy to pitch in the rain. 1-1. Fastball that runs wide, moves the count to 2 balls and a strike. Michael Ferry out of UW Milwaukee. Of course, teammates with Bullfrogs designated hitter today, Ben Challey, who closed out this top of the 8th inning with a ground out. 2-1, that one runs wide, and a hitter's count now for Ferry. 3 balls, a strike, and out on the board. Nobody on, and bottom of the 8th inning. Woodchucks looking for some insurance runs. The Bullfrogs trail by 3, but they've out-hit the Woodchucks tonight, 9 hits to 5. 2 errors apiece, but it's been walks that have been the difference. 3-1. That one finds the outside corner. A nice frame there by Trent Bauer fills the count. Gorsuch comes set. Nods his head, kicks his leg, the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Much needed strikeout there for Gorsuch, and Michael Ferry will walk back to the dugout, and his first hit will have to come on another day. Stevie Mangrum, the left fielder, will now dig in. The Virginia Tech Hokie have a pretty solid game. 1 for 2 tonight with a 2 RBI single, and has been walked twice. Coming off of a home run against the Bullfrogs back on Tuesday. Gorsuch comes set, nods his head, and sends in the first pitch. Fastball that runs wide, 1-0. Gorsuch, the UW Oshkosh product, started his season out on a temporary contract. And then after pitching his way onto the full-time roster, or is how Chris Sabo said it, pitched well against the Kalamazoo Growlers in a 14-inning game back, which seems like an eternity ago, back in the first week of June. Finds himself in Green Bay for the rest of the summer and has pitched well. The 2-0 from Gorsuch. Fastball that runs high, moves the count to 3-0. And Scott Gorsuch behind now. As Woodchucks fans sticking around for the end of this game, they are some troopers. It is not comfortable to sit out in what is now a heavy mist. 3-0 count. Runs high, and Stevie Mangrum is walked. Probably not the worst decision in the world with a guy like Stevie Mangrum, who, of course, has 12 home runs on the season. And you'll bring up Logan Foster, who's 1 for 4 tonight. But Logan Foster, I mean, he hit a home run back in the first frame, but granted, it was just Logan Foster's 4th home run. So Foster, the right-handed hitter, digs in, and Stevie Mangrum takes his lead at first. Just 5 hits tonight for the Woodchucks, but they've managed 6 runs. They've capitalized on some pass balls and wild pitches. First one goes by for a strike, 0-1.
The opportunity to chat with him and Orson Josephina.
Scott Gorsuch, the right-handed pitcher, comes set, glances at the runner at first. Deals in the 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2, he goes behind. Foster 1 for 4 today, trying to end out his day with a base hit here and possibly give his Woodchucks some insurance runs. The Bullfrogs still in striking distance, down by 3 it seems. 0-2. That one runs high, gets away from the catcher. Runner advances to second, and it just popped out of the glove of Trent Bauer. He has really struggled behind home plate tonight. A lot of pass balls, some wild pitches as well. Don't put it all on Bauer by any means. But either way, the pitcher-catcher duo all night just has not gone well. 6-3 Woodchucks lead. Runner in scoring position now in Mangrum as he advances on the pass ball. Scott Gorsuch comes set and sends in the 1-2. Swing and a miss, closes things out with a K. And Scott Gorsuch with 4 strikeouts, his night likely coming to a close unless the Bullfrogs can post 3 in the ninth. Stay tuned. You're listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network. Stay tuned. 107.1 FM.
Find the flavors of Italy with the heart of the Irish. Add some Chicago flair, and you've got Gallagher's Pizza. For the best Chicago-style pizza north of the Illinois border, Gallagher's Pizza is your destination. Call now for delivery or pickup in Green Bay and De Pere. Gallagher's Pizza, home of the best lunch buffet in town.
We all want to be self-sufficient, whether it's fixing projects at home, whether it's changing the oil on the car, or maybe even keeping your checkbook balanced. But when it comes to income taxes, trust me, you don't want to do it yourself. You don't want to do it with someone that just does it 3 months a year as a little sideline job. You need to work with a proactive 24/7 CPA firm that can actually get you results and keep more money in your pocket. Pick up the phone today. 715-735-0583.
Hello and Welcome back to Wausau, Wisconsin. My name's Will Knight, voice of the Bullfrogs. New pitcher out on the mound for the Wisconsin Woodchucks. It will be Orson Josefina. Bullfrogs faced off against Orson Josefina the other night, and he would put them down. They would not register a run against him until the Woodchucks give him the nod again. The right-handed pitcher on the season for the Woodchucks has had a great season. Orson Josefina on the year, coming into the game supporting a ERA of 4.12. 21 appearances for Josefina, has dealt in 32 strikeouts, just 7 walks, and has a 1-2 record with 14 saves. The guy's a great closer, and they go to him day in and day out. Due out for the Bullfrogs here in the 9th inning to try to get the comeback will be Willie Bourbon, Ben Hart, and Connor Beniski. Trent Bauer would be the 4th batter to come up, and he would be the go-ahead run. Per se, everybody get on base. It's not going to be easy, but it's not impossible. The Bullfrogs with many 3-run innings throughout the season. In fact, last time they faced off against the Woodchucks, they managed 2 3-run innings in a row. We'll see if they can manage one against Orson Josefina here in the top of the 9th. The mist has continued. It is foggy, it is hazy, it is wet, and it is rainy. The Bullfrogs need anything to try to get back into it. They trail 6-3. Willie Bourbon due up on the night, 1 for 3, managed a single in the 7th frame.
Willie Bourbon.
Bourbon, the left-handed hitter out of Northwestern on the season for the Bullfrogs, struggling at the plate, batting just 169. And his last 10 has struggled as well, just 128. Left-handed batter. Draws an X across the plate with his black bat, waves it around, and Josefina comes set and deals in the first pitch. It's a fastball right over the plate, 0-1. Bourbon digs in, waves the bat around. Orson Josefina shakes off one pitch, likes the next. Rocks back and sends in the 0-1. Another fastball, but this one runs high. Evens the count, a ball and a strike. The Riverwoods, Illinois product digs back in. Left-handed hitter just finished up his sophomore season. Looking for his 2nd hit of the game, the 1-1. Runs inside for a ball, 2-1. Josefina with just 7 walks in many appearances. I'm impressed by that number. Bourbon on the season has managed to smack 2 home runs for the Bullfrogs. 2-1, swung on and fouled away, evens it up 2-2. 20 RBIs on the year as well. One of those home runs, a walk-off homer against Kalamazoo. That was just in his 4th game in a Bullfrogs uniform, a newcomer at the time, but at this point he seems like one of the veterans. 44 games played. 3rd most on the team. Josefina comes set, and time is called by Bourbon. Ben Hart with the most appearances on the team. He's one of the lone guys that have been around for the entire season. He's got 50. Troy Johnson with 47, and then it would be Willie Bourbon with the next most. 2-2. That one comes in wide, moves the count to a full count. Willie Bourbon with the same amount of appearances as Alex Pinner, who is no longer with the team. Hasn't been for about a week now. To give you an idea of how often Alex Pinner was used. Payoff. Swung on, a fly ball deep into right. Tracking back is Adondis Lau, and in front of the warning track makes the grab. A well-hit ball by Willie Bourbon off the bat. Sound promising, looked promising, but Adondis Lau in right field says, calm down, and records out number 1. 1 away, Bullfrogs down to just 2 outs now as Ben Hart, the second baseman, will dig in. Ben Hart having a day, 3 for 3 with a double and an RBI. The guy has been unreal recently. First pitch to him. That one runs high and inside, 1-0. I mean, the guy, if he brings this into Oakland University come next season, the type of play he's had recently, he's going to have a breakout senior year. What a great time to break out as well last year. A redshirt junior. He's going to be 22, the oldest guy on the team. He swings in the 1-0 and fouls it away right side, 1-1. I mean, listen to these stats here in his last 10 games. Ben Hart batting .371 in 10 games, has 13 hits, a home run, 4 RBIs, and has scored 5 times as well. The 1-1. Fastball that hits the outside corner, 1-2.
Got that live arm. Often hits around 91 plus with his fastball. Consistently, I like.
Ben Hart digs in out of Oakland. Josefina rocks back and sends in the 1-2. Swing and a miss, and the fairy tale game of Ben Hart comes to a close. Chases a breaking ball into the dirt, misses, and out number 2 is put on the board. The 33rd strikeout of the season for Josefina. And the Bullfrogs down to their last out. Woodchucks 1 out away from snapping a 7-game losing streak. First one to Connor Beniski. Swung on, found away left side, 0-1. In what is a battle for the cellar of the South. The Bullfrogs sitting in 9th place in the second half, and the Woodchucks in 10th currently. They would be tied if the Woodchucks win here. 0-1. Swung on and fouled back, 0-2. Bullfrogs coming into the game 8-17 on a 5-game losing streak. I mean, this team was 3-17 to start off the second half. This winning streak coming at a perfect time for the Frogs. And the Woodchucks a strike away now from snapping their 7-game skid. 0-2 to Beniski. Swung on, ground ball to short. Trey Dawson has it, the throw to first in time, and the Woodchucks get out of it, and they come away with the victory. Snap a 7-game losing streak, much needed for them, and it snaps a 5-game winning streak for the Bullfrogs. Their longest winning streak of the season, it comes to a close. They swept the Woodchucks at home, and they'll try to avoid the sweep tomorrow. They'll be back here in Wausau tomorrow for a Friday night showdown. That game set for 7:05. They'll travel out to Rockford for a 2-game series on Saturday and Sunday, and then be back in Green Bay for a series against the Growlers on Monday and Tuesday. Stay tuned for the post-game show. You've been listening to the WOCO Sports Stream on the Bullfrogs Radio Network. Final score, Bullfrogs 3, Woodchucks 6.
When you're looking for the perfect game for your appetite, look no further than Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizzas. Made with premium meats and veggies, then topped with over half a pound of 100% fresh, real mozzarella cheese made right here in Wisconsin. Every Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizza is a home run. Made with the hungry in mind, Brew Pub pizzas are big, bold, and belong in the big leagues of the frozen pizza industry. Enjoy a delicious piece of Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizza right now from the concession stand, or pick one up at your local favorite grocery store. Brew Pub Lots of Matza Pizzas, the ingredients for a great time.
We all want to be self-sufficient, whether it's fixing projects at home, whether it's changing the oil on the car, or maybe even keeping your checkbook balanced. But when it comes to income taxes, trust me, you don't want to do it yourself. You don't want to do it with someone that just does it 3 months a year as a little sideline job. You need to work with a proactive 24/7 CPA firm that can actually get you results and keep more money in your pocket. Pick up the phone today, 715-735-0583.
Visiting teams and combinations are brought to you by American Inn Lodge and Suites, Green Bay West. For toll-free reservations, contact 800-634-3444. American Inn Lodge and Suites, Green Bay West. Welcome to genuine American Inn hospitality.
Hello and welcome back to Wausau, Wisconsin. The Bullfrogs cannot come back again. They drop a game to Wisconsin Woodchucks 6-3 as they responded with every shot, but with just not enough offense. They would out-hit the Wisconsin Woodchucks tonight 9-5, but 6 runs would be the difference. A 2-run bomb by Logan Foster in the first inning would put the Woodchucks ahead. Bullfrogs would respond with an RBI single from Ben Hart in the second inning. The Woodchucks would then post 2 more in the 4th frame. The Bullfrogs responded with a run in the 5th frame. Woodchucks with 2 more runs in the 6th, a 2 RBI single from Stevie Mangrum, and the Woodchucks, or rather the Bullfrogs, would respond again with a run of their own in the 7th, but it would not be enough. They go scoreless in the 8th and in the 9th, and they drop to the Wisconsin Woodchucks 6-3. The Bullfrogs drop to 8-18 on the season. The Wisconsin Woodchucks improve to 9-19. The Bullfrogs coming into the game on a 5-game losing streak. That winning streak comes to a close, and the Woodchucks' 7-game losing streak, that comes to a close. Let's look at the scores around the league and then give you a look at the in-depth box score presented by the Knight family. Give you Aurora Bay Care Sports Medicine a player of the game, and then we will sign off and meet you tomorrow. The Fond du Lac Dock Spiders have absolutely exploded on the Rockford Rivets. They beat the Rivets 17-2 tonight. The Kenosha Kingfish, they drop a game to Lakeshore Chinooks 2-5. The Wilmer Stingers beat the Waterloo Bucks 6-2. The Rochester Hawkers, they beat the Bismarck Larks, or rather, are leading in the bottom of the 7th inning 7-3. The Thunder Bay Border Cats, they drop a game to, or rather that game in the top of the 7th as well. Getting ahead of myself here. The Border Cats trail 6-9 to the Loggers. The Wisconsin Rapids Raptors lead the Battle Creek Bombers 11-4 in the bottom of the 9th. The Mankato Moondogs trail the St. Cloud Rocks 5-6. That game in the bottom of the 6th. And the Kalamazoo Growlers currently have a 6-4 lead over the Madison Mallards in the bottom of the 3rd inning. That game only going to 7. It was the 2nd game of a 2-game doubleheader. The Kalamazoo Growlers would win game 1 of that, by the way, 5-3. Let's take a look at the box score presented by the Knight family, then give you your Aurora Bay Care Sports Medicine player of the game. Riley Smith went 0-4 tonight, dropping his batting average a bit, but what really matters is that his hitting streak comes to a close with strikeout 1 time tonight. Mikey Falia 0-4 tonight himself. Troy Johnston had a good day, 2-4. Dan Leckie 2-4 as well. Ben Challey 1-4 with a double and a run scored. Willie Bourbon, he went 1-4 with a run scored as well. Ben Hart goes 3-4 tonight with an RBI and a run scored. Connor Beniski 0-4. Trent Bauer 0-3. Notable numbers for the Woodchucks. They only managed 5 hits all night. Nobody managed a multi-hit game, but they get 6 runs across and they come away with the victory. Attendance here at 1,400. Although it was a scattered crowd throughout, those numbers out there coming from the beer gardens as they were packed to the brim tonight on a Thursday night. Your Aurora Bay Care Sports Medicine player of the game, it's got to be Ben Hart. Ben Hart comes in, goes 3-4, a run scored and an RBI. Would manage a double in the game as well, and his hot hitting continues. Losing pitcher Will Gilbert. He pitches 6 frames, allows 4 earned runs, 6 overall, 4 hits on the night, 5 walks, and 7 strikeouts. Scott Gorsuch pitches 2 frames for the Frogs and pitched well. Closed out the game, dealing in 4 strikeouts in 2 innings of work, not allowing a run, just 1 hit. Winning pitcher is Hansen. He pitched 5 frames, allowing no earned runs, and the save goes to Orson Josephina. That does it here in Green Bay. Thanks to Larry back in the studio. Thank you for tuning in, allowing me to call Green Bay Bullfrogs baseball, because always it's a pleasure. Peace.
Attention pizza lovers, have you tried a Brew Pub pizza? Designed to be the best of the best pub pizzas ever made, every Brew Pub Lots of Matza pizza is made with your favorite premium meats and veggies and topped with over a ½ pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. Brew Pub Lots of Matza pizzas are made right here in Wisconsin. Brew Pub Lots of Matza pizzas are available at your local grocer and tavern. Check Brew Pub Pizzas out at facebook.com/brewpubpizza and get more details at brewpubpizza.com. Brew Pub Lots of Matza pizzas, official frozen pizza of the Green Bay Bullfrogs.
We've heard it time and time again. You want local loan decisions and servicing, faster turnaround, and answers to your questions handled right here in Oconto. At the Stevenson National Bank and Trust, we've got all of those bases covered, from local loan decisions and on-time closings to great rates and fair terms. Visit me, Bob Schwartz, at the Stevenson National Bank and Trust. I've helped many people, and now I'd like to help you with your next loan. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
If you don't know everything about insurance, you'll profit from the knowledge and experience at the Oconto Falls Insurance Center, 113 North Main Street, downtown Oconto Falls. You'll benefit from their thorough analysis of the insurance that you really need. They'll recommend the companies and policies that are the best for you. At the Oconto Falls Insurance Center, they specialize in complete coverage of all your insurance needs. Call the Oconto Falls Insurance Center, 113 North Main Street, downtown Oconto Falls.
That has been Green Bay Bullfrog Baseball on WOCO Stereo FM. Today's game being brought to you by 24/7 Well and Pump, Islandfeld, Saskatchewan, and Anderson, the NAW Credit Union, O'Connell Pharmacy, the Oconto Falls Insurance, Stevenson National Bank and Trust, and What's Piggly Wiggly. Also by America Inn, Brew Pub Pizza, Cellcom, Tri-City Glass, and Triangle Distributing. Stay tuned for more Green Bay Bullfrog Baseball on 107.1 WOCO Stereo FM. Have a great day.